It's time to put on a suit and roll out the carpet. Crank up the tube and gather near. It's the best time of the year, so keep your dial right here. It's me and you and me again at the Suey's. The greatest of laughs, mistakes, and best revelations. And so much more. Brought to you by the greatest beer. It's the best time of the year, so keep your dial right here. It's me and you and me again at the Suey's. And every day you're gonna go to a website to vote on the sounds that brought you cheer. 'Cause it's the best time of the year, so keep your dial right here. It's me and you, it's me again and it's you. It's me and you and me again at the Suey's. That kind of thing.
It's tough to do. It's difficult to do.
Blacked out. What happened?
And Greg Cody, if you were not watching or listening yesterday, I could argue that it's the angriest moment in the history of sports broadcasting. I could make that argument. Where else have you ever seen someone rabidly refuse to do any more show and threaten his son and threaten all of us?
I saw Jim Everett slap Jim Rome once.
Yeah.
A good point by you. And,
Greg got older today, huh?
And I want to play for the audience.
Hey, everybody, look how good I look.
The context, you're breathless, you're winded. I want to
performer.
I want to play for everybody, again, if you did not see it yesterday. And we've got a giant college football weekend this weekend. One of the biggest openings you will ever see.
FIU Bethune.
To a season. Right there, opening week. I just can't remember a time where there was something like this on an Arch Manning, where he could really he could go from star to superstar one game. He can do it that quickly. Like he's somebody whose name you know, and in one game he could become the immediate front runner for everything in college football, or it could fall apart. And that's one of the games. You got Miami, Notre Dame. We haven't talked about that yet. But I want to start with what I believe to be close to unprecedented anger. And here's just a smidgen of it, because it was about 7 minutes. But here's 1 minute of it.
Here we go. We got to find a second.
Oh, no.
They're going to be elbows grabbed.
No.
They're going to be elbows grabbed. He's furious.
Don't say anything about it. I'm serious. I want my laptop back. I'm not the least bit amused by this. I'm not kidding in how angry I am.
I'm going to send them both to the penalty box.
I'm not going to the penalty box.
Go together. I'll bring this.
I want my computer right here before I do anything.
Be in the penalty box.
No, I'm not going to the penalty box until I get my computer right here.
You can bring it to me. This is fine. This is good.
No, you can bring it to me.
Greg, you're going to stop that now.
No.
Okay? Yes.
I'm not.
You're going to stop that now.
No, I'm not. I'll leave. I'll go home if you want me to with my laptop. But I am not going in the penalty box until my laptop is connected to my computer. My son this is not your fault. My son has gone over the line here. I am genuinely upset.
We know.
Okay, so how about make it right? Christopher, if I don't have that computer here in 3 minutes, I am not hosting the draft party Thursday night.
Put the clock up on the screen. Lewis.
Please, do it. I cannot express to you how serious I am about Thursday night.
Don't hold your heart, all right?
Yeah,
No.
I'm getting worried.
No. On my life.
Greg,
I am not hosting this draft party Thursday night. I've never been more angry connected with this show. Anybody who thinks that's me is an idiot. On my granddaughter's life, I am not hosting this draft party unless I have that computer. Whatever number he said will not be where the Dolphins are in the
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait, now the number's changing?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
Depending on how accurate he was.
That was crazy.
I just love him at the beginning of that. I want my laptop back.
The next to last time that he was yelling at you, it's how I've heard him yell at you since you were 5, when he's angriest. He did not care that you're the executive producer. He did not care that he's sitting here and doing a show. The backstory on this, before I get to other things here, I just want you guys to know, the audience to know, that Chris Cote just this morning was still on the phone with his dad, who was still screaming, my ranking of the Dolphins comes out at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you guys break that story before me, there's no draft party on Thursday night I'm hosting.
Whoa, hold on a second. I don't know if you're aware. I'm a journalist, all right? And I have sources. I break stories sometimes. Greg doesn't get to tell me what stories I could attempt to break.
Dude, you're going to kill me.
But listen, this is my integrity. This is my livelihood we're talking about here. Greg doesn't get to tell me what stories to break or not break. If I have a source who's going to tell me, what ranking the Dolphins are before 10 a.m., Lord's time zone, Eastern time, everybody knows that. Well, nothing's stopping me from doing my job.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Is the Eastern time zone the Lord's time zone? Does everyone know that? Chris, what is your description for the audience of what you endured this morning while talking to your dad again about trying to get a graphics package together that celebrates where he will rank the Dolphins? And I'm telling you, from just knowing your dad, the place that he was angriest, and this was lost yesterday, is that because you said he would rank the Dolphins 14th off of the top, he thought you had already looked at his computer.
You're right. That was the biggest confusion.
Whoa.
That's
I just
correct.
said a
Are we
number.
spoiling here?
I haven't confirmed that yet.
Okay, thank you.
We'll
I'm
get-
waiting on your word here, Zaz.
We will get
Respect.
it from the journalist, but is it lost on everyone here how amusing it is that Greg Cote thought it was okay to reveal to the world before my wife did that I was engaged? That is okay as a scoop. But us reporting what his ranking of the Dolphins is, to do that to him, that is unacceptable and results in a rage not seen since Jim Everett went after Jim Rome.
Careful, that was a
for
problem.
calling him Chris Everett.
Well, I think it depends on a number of factors, okay? When you told Greg, I'm engaged, did you say off the record?
I didn't say it to him. I wasn't his source.
Well, when someone said it to him, did they say off the record? Because if they said off the record and he put it out there, then there was malfeasance. Now, there's a difference between that and him reporting news that was not off the record and someone stealing his personal property and then stealing his intellectual information, his IP, and putting that out there before him. That's a crime. Chris should go to jail.
Wow.
No, I shouldn't.
Good defense.
It's up to the judge. Luckily, we have a judge here. It's up to the judge. Should Chris go to jail for his actions yesterday?
You made a good case. Should I be a judge here?
Roy, do you have the imaging ready for Zaslow to be a judge? You're always a judge. You're just asking if you should be a judge.
Well, today so
publicly.
far I'm a performer.
Well, but you're a lot of things.
And a
You're,
journalist.
you're a man of many talents. Yes.
I'm
a
working
damn good
several
performer
jobs, you know.
today, yeah.
All right.
All rise. The Honorable Jonathan Zaslow now presiding with prejudice.
That's not a judge's. Oh, it is a judge. It is a judge, Tread.
We didn't think about the headphones part.
I can't believe he kept the backwards flex fit on.
The no helmet makes it a little, the no headphones makes it a little difficult.
Right, yeah.
Just saying. All right. The case in front of me. Should Chris Cote go to prison
Jail.
based on the evidence that the defense put in front of me, which was, no, I shouldn't. I side with the defense.
Oh, wow.
Chris Cote does not deserve prison with prejudice.
Forgivable.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Chris. I'm very happy for you. You do not get a prison sentence, but we do have still the problem of your father's wrath, which is real. Billy, Mike, you guys tell me what you experienced watching Chris say 9 times in a telephone, Dad, we're not going to put it on the screen before 10 a.m.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to that. I shrank to the kitchen because yesterday was genuinely uncomfortable for me. It was not. I was not having fun. That was very uncomfortable for many in our audience.
Yeah, I was having fun. I like it, because I just know my dad when he gets that level of rage, and after the show he does the thing. Well, I think I said it on air yesterday. He does the rage. A couple hours later, he's like, maybe I overreacted, and then he says that, and then right after that, he's like, but do not reveal that pick before 10. So it's like he apologizes for the rage. And then he says, I'm going to be that angry if you report it before 10. So
he grabbed his chest yesterday. Like, we're getting to the 8, and he's had incidents where he's just collapsed. Like,
I'm with
at
you.
highlight. Like, it was getting a little scary.
That's
how
'cause of
angry
asthma,
he was
though.
getting. Well, it doesn't matter if it's because of asthma or whatever. If you pulling a prank kills your father,
I'm with you.
How are you going to feel?
I did think watching it back yesterday that when I saw how angry he was, I was like, this just can't be good for his health.
Don't forget, what's inevitably going to be a mediocre Dolphin.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's the
Maybe. We don't know yet.
Okay, Billy, but I want to take the guesses and I want to walk people through this, okay? And I'll promise I'll get to the games in a second because I am excited about this UM Notre Dame game and I'm excited about this college football weekend. But I really do want the audience to understand that I believe this anger started with his son correctly guessing off the top of his head that Cody had ranked the team 14th in the league. Because I said there's no way he goes under 16. He's a homer. He will keep them in the top half of the league. Chris got it correct, and his father thought that he had looked at the computer.
Well, what was the timeline there? When did you say that?
That you can see. There was a video montage that we cut it out of the one we played, but you can see I say it before I have the laptop. There's me saying 14 wins, and then they cut to me going in there and grabbing the laptop.
Do we know it's 14 for sure?
Well, this is what I want to talk about because...
Not confirmed.
Well, it's not confirmed by Zazzle, but this is what I'm telling you. What I'm saying is, it was 14, but it won't be today. He'll move it, and it won't have anything to do with merit or somebody injured or anything else. He's just going to move it because he doesn't want his son to be right.
Do you want to know a behind-the-scenes thing that I don't think you're aware of because you were in that studio when this was going on? So when Chris was back here with the laptop and we were kind of uncomfortable with what was going on, Chris had the laptop and he said, I can't find it. And then he's hitting
There were 40 tabs open.
He's hitting every single tab that's open at the time. And Greg was actively typing it out moments before. And he said, oh gosh, I hope I didn't close it. And if I did, I hope it was saved. So while you guys are kind of egging Greg on, we back here are like, oh, there's a chance that he accidentally deleted all of the work that Greg had done.
He said that, but Greg wasn't worried about that because all 40 of those tabs were his podcast that he was opened on. He was just checking how many downloads it had.
It was.
And I'm promising you, I'd like to take a bet here now, okay? Because I think we'll find out at 10 or if Zaslow breaks the story earlier.
I imagine we'll find out before.
Really?
Well, this isn't a hobby of mine. Come on.
You're predicting that in the next 47 minutes you can get this story, this big story of where it is the Dolphins are going to be ranked according to Greg Cody of the Miami Herald.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly trying to, crack some kind of code here. I'll figure it out.
All right. His rage is indeed real, but Erlene, Chris's mom, can tell you that that's what every experience is like arguing with your father, Chris, where there's an apology, but he doesn't know what he's apologizing for, and he's still right the next day, and he wasn't actually that sorry, but he did overreact. And
that's like dozens of times in my life.
I reject what all of you are saying here. All of you. I reject all of it because I am, last night, with my wife, watching that video, and we are howling with laughter.
Oh, so she loved it.
Loved it. Because it was uproariously funny because he's cute and everyone knows, everyone in our audience knows it's unlike any other television fight you're ever going to have. Everyone in our audience knows, oh, that's real, and it also doesn't actually mean anything because those people love each other. Like, they'll figure out whatever the end of that is if he doesn't die on the air.
But there's that too, right? There's the if he doesn't die on air.
That's the part we want to avoid.
And also just the assumption of like, we'll misbehave, but we'll probably figure it out at the end. Like, we could avoid that part in the middle, and then you don't have to maybe mend fences. You know the best fence? One that doesn't have to be mended.
Why didn't you tell me that advice while we were at ESPN?
Listen, there was no one stopping that. That fence was well beyond broken. You were a bucking bronco, and there was nothing stopping you.
Yep, you wouldn't listen to anybody.
Not a single person. I tried to stop you. You sent me to the penalty box, and then everything went downhill from there.
It's one of the best stories in the history of the show. I believe it's the best video in the history of the show. Billy looking around.
Hard disagree.
I know why you don't like it, but that's not the best story I want to
It's my wedding week.
show.
I needed less stress that week.
You have to find that for me so that we can just relive that at some point here, please. Just Billy's awkward looking
I do it every
around.
night when I close my eyes.
I know, it was a bit of a nightmare. But the best story of the last year, this is a difficult category to edit down in the Sueys every year because a lot of great stories get told around here. They are long stories, but Chris Cody told me this is a tight 15 minutes. You get
As
to
tight
decide,
as it can be.
You get to decide what were the best story and stories told over the last year on the show.
The 2025 Suey Awards is presented by Miller Lite. Cast your vote at LeBatardAF.com. Winners will be announced next week, Tuesday, September the 2nd. Apologies, that is the pickle. I had that ready for.
Movie theater sells pickles, dog.
Yeah, we got pickles. But here's a best story on the Sueys.
And now the Suey nominees for Best Story. Jamal Crawford's biggest loss in gambling.
Shooting dice with somebody I shouldn't have been shooting dice with. I got in over my head and I started air betting. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's basically like I lost the cash I had. So then when I lost the cash, I was technically out the game. So I had to bet on somebody else while they were shooting air money. And it got so deep, instead of giving the cash, I said, I'll give my car. And I took my basketball out the trunk and gave him the car. True story.
And you were a rookie, and what kind of car was it?
Yeah, I was a rookie. It was a Mercedes. It was a S430.
The COTE'S almost got in a golf fight.
I can wait to let those guys move. Chances are I'm not going to hit them. So you know what? I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to hit. What do? I hit the shot of my life. Yeah. And there are two ways to run it up on people. You can land it 20 yards and it rolls into there. That's not as, no one's really going to get hurt there. Or there's, and the ball like lands and you're like, holy, I almost just died. That's what happened. It landed on the green. So I am like, I'm throwing up the international sign for holy, I'm so sorry. So the guy's reaction on the green, he's like a young guy my age, looks like a tough guy. He grabs the ball, just chucks it into the water.
No.
What?
He takes the ball,
That's
and
what I would do.
see the motion, just chucking it into the water.
Oh, no.
And I'm sitting here saying, look, what I just did was extremely rude.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it. Greg Cody over here, 70-year-old Greg Cody, once he finds out the guy threw my golf ball, puffs his chest out, and it's just like, I had to essentially hold my dad back.
It's great.
From going to yell at this guy on my behalf, where then I would have had to be defending my dad.
Yes, that's how rage and family bonds work, so that someone gets killed by a golf club on a golf course.
Patrick Surtain Jr. and Sr. tell the story of the Dolphins-Broncos 70-20 game.
Just for the record, by the end of about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, I was drunk. So I knew the score. But the thing about it, they were down, and Mike McDaniel kept throwing the ball. I'm like, oh, shit, he's trying to break records on him. But
bad thing about it was humid. It was hot. Yeah. We was getting whooped in the sun. And that was.
Wow, your dad went to get drunk in the club.
While you're suffering on the football field.
You're allowing 70 points, and your dad is hammered before the fourth quarter.
I was watching out of one eye.
The story of how Jessica and Lehman met.
My other grandma actually died, and then I went to work the next day, and I was like, my grandma died, and everyone was like, oh, we're so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay, let's go to happy hour. And then we went to happy hour, and that was the day Lehman and I started dating.
So much romance.
So that's how I remember our anniversary.
Eduardo Perez was terrified his dad would see his shin guard.
The trainer for the Angels comes out and beats our Tampa Bay trainer out to the field.
And he's like, it's mush. He goes, let me look. And I said, don't. And he goes, what? I said, if it's mush, don't raise my pant legs. Why? I said, because I have a shin guard underneath it. And my dad would always say the sign of a bad hitter is a hitter that has a shin guard on. So I had a shin guard underneath my uniform. I did not want my dad to see while I'm torn Achilles, I had the shin guard on. So I'm like, please do not show me that. He goes, okay, no problem. I'm not going to show you that.
The Miami Heat had Poppy so scared he pulled his pants down.
I was there and I was sitting on his couch with my girlfriend and my father, who got so nervous that while he was watching during all of that, for reasons I will not be able to explain to this day, in the living room, just dropped his pants and was standing there in his underwear.
Huh.
He just got scared, nervous.
He was all Heat fans. That was all of us.
His house.
Just like Wayne. But why do I remember that? Because my father, for some reason, was in his tighty whities just in the fourth quarter, scared.
Did you ever say, Dad, why'd you drop your pants?
We all did.
His house, though, Greg.
Poor girlfriend.
Wait, you all dropped your pants?
Jalen Rose texted Mero about his hairline.
I was asked the question of, like, who do I think has fake hairlines? Because, you know, some people... that was when the
I know where you're going with this.
Right. I said Jalen Rose.
You're a lie.
And I was just like, yo.
The devil is a liar.
So I said it, right? So I said, yo, Jalen Rose gotta be fake because it's too perfect.
It's not.
It's too perfect. So then I get a text. Yo, this is Jalen Rose. My real.
It's true.
I mean, now we on FaceTime.
Haters will say it's fake, dog.
I'm like, yo,
but
I believe you.
It is geometrical. Like it's a modern marvel how
it is perfect.
The 90-degree angles on it are crazy.
Like I'm talking about on TV, Jamal. You know how hard
That
it is
man
for
got
you to
good
look
genes,
perfect on
dog.
TV?
Dominique Foxworth played through spitting up blood during a contract year.
Jay Cutler scrambles to the right and then scrambles to the left. I go to the left one, then he comes back to the right. As I'm coming back, Eddie Royal dives through my chest. And I thanked him after the game because he didn't hit me in the head because it was legal back then. I got up from that play and started coughing and spitting out blood. And then I started to walk in the direction of the sideline because this ain't normal. And then it hit me, nah, bruh, it's a contract year. Lined up and played the next play. And there are people who have done much more absurd things than that because I wasn't even that good.
Greg and Erlene Cody share the tale of Bamboo Reed. When you were pregnant with Christopher and we were dreaming up possible names, I came up with, we were going through the usual suspect of names. I came up with a rather unusual name that you vetoed.
Is that when you were on the LSD? Is that when that was happening?
Yeah.
Please. No, that was well after that.
You mean the Bamboo Reed thing?
Oh, my God! Yes! Upset! Yes!
Andrew Zimmern collects animal nut sacks.
I have the nut sacks of 6 or 7 different animals that I've taken in the wild and whose balls I've eaten.
Which animals?
I have a wildebeest nut sack over there that is about the size of a softball.
Billy Gill got big-timed by Miami Heat security at Amos, Miami.
I was like, why is this guy just hanging out by the stairs? There's this big crowd of people. Like, I wanted him to feel welcome, so I was trying to be like a good host. So I was on the stage, and I walked over to him, and I said, hey, good to see you. Like, thanks for coming out. Because I've been told that he's a big fan of the show. So he shakes my hand very nicely, and then I walk away, and I go back on the stage to do whatever we were doing. And then a report got to me that he then turned to the person next to him and said, who the bleep was that guy?
Yeah, he's terrifying, and I don't know why.
I wasn't terrified. I thought he was a...
He was one of the fans.
All right, I'll get back to him.
Come on.
Poppy Le Batard tells us about Fred Dreyer.
The guy used to eat salmon. That's all the guy ate, and he was in real good shape. His cholesterol level was in tip-top condition. And I said, oh, my God, this guy is going to live forever. And one day I get up in the morning and I look at the news and the guy dropped dead. I said, how the hell this guy could drop dead? He's such a healthy nut, Well, that happened. So I stopped eating salmon. That's it. I don't need salmon anymore.
Let's clip that.
Por si acaso, no? Por si acaso.
I'm being told that Fred Dreyer's still alive.
Nah, I don't believe that. My source tell me that he dropped dead a number of years ago.
Amin El-Hassan got face-to-face with Mike Tyson.
Crowded bar, and I'm walking out, and someone bumps into me until my drink spills, and it went all over Mike Tyson, and he turns around.
around. And this is when he first got the tattoo, and it's glowing in the dark of the black lights.
That's prime, like.
Oh my God.
That's prime. Don't spill a drink on Mike Tyson.
That's no F. Gibbons, Mike.
And this crowded bar that was like really congested a second ago, it was all open, and it was just me and Mike Tyson, and everyone was like 100 yards back. And his eyes, his beady little eyes were like glowing too, and they were angry. So I said, the only thing that came to mind, Assalamu alaikum, brother. And he dapped me up, and he pulled me close, like sharply like that. I'll kill you. And in my ear, he said, alaikum salam. But he said it so close to my ear, I thought he was going to bite my ear.
Yeah,
so I jumped back. And then he released, and then I ran away.
Jonathan Zaslow disrupted Brad Williams' show.
My wife and I were at the show. We're sitting toward the back of one of the couches, and there is a really loud man who is behind us with a couple of women. They have been overserved. They are clearly drunk, and they are loud. And so I could feel the buildup. My wife is getting agitated at the people who are being loud and disrespectful to Brad. And it got to a point where I turned around and I yelled for everyone to hear, shut the f*** up.
Just to be clear, Zaz is making his wife the Jada Pinkett in this scenario where it's like Will was sitting there like, I don't want to slap Chris Rock, but my wife's uncomfortable, so let me go assault one of the best comedians ever. So Zaz is sitting there going like, I don't want to ruin the show, but my wife's uncomfortable, so let me go ruin the show.
Dan Le Batard's fireworks adventure.
So I go to the park, all right, and I just take the very smallest of the explosives, and I light the fuse, and I walk away. What happens next is such a bombardment of neighborhood machine gun fire and smoke that I run out of the park because I don't want to be seen by anybody in a neighborhood where it won't stop. Like, I get to my car, it's still going. It was such a rat-a-tat-tat of like 90 seconds of neighborhood machine gun fire on an otherwise tranquil, sunny afternoon that I immediately came home and gave my fireworks away to a couple of my friends.
Dan Le Batard lost his ticket to the Pearl Jam concert.
What happened is we had tickets, and they were hard tickets, actual tickets, not on the phone. Tickets were distributed to each of the people in our party about an hour and a half prior to the concert. When it came time to enter the venue and show the ticket, Dan Le Batard says, sorry, I can't find my ticket. He lost his ticket, which would have kept him out of the concert. He was there for his wife for her birthday. So my girlfriend has to go looking in a casino for his ticket, doesn't find it, and I'm forced to get him in because I knew security. So Dan gets into the concert. There are 8 of us for only 7 tickets. So we squeeze in, and all of a sudden, there's this guy standing where our seat is, and no one else said a word. Dan is just sort of standing there with his eyes half open. And I said, excuse me, this is not your seat. And what does this man do? He showed the ticket. That was Dan's ticket.
Because who else has a physical ticket? Like, obviously, it's Dan's ticket.
B.J. Upton asks Tim Kirchin his shoe size.
Dan, I was in the dugout once in Atlanta, and B.J. Upton came up to me during the game, and he just looked at me because I'm right there in the dugout with a microphone in my hand, and he said, my brother and I were wondering, what size shoe do you wear? So I said, well, I wear a 7.5 shoe. And he said, man, that's a really small shoe. And then he walked away. That's what you get when you're the dugout reporter.
Dan Le Batard threw carrot cake out of the press box.
Dan had brought back a piece of carrot cake, a square of classic carrot cake from the dining room. Dan looks at me, looks at the carrot cake, and then he kind of puts his hand like he's going to flip the carrot cake over the railing into the crowd. And I look at Dan, I said, you're not going to do it. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. And you know, Dan, that to him is saying you have to do that now. So with just a quick little flip of his finger, the carrot cake over the railing, gone. And now, since we're professional, what do? We both push back from the desk, and we're now, because we want to separate ourselves from possibly somebody seeing us. And then about 10 seconds later, thick New York accent, shouting up, hey, great New York. Hey, you idiots. You think that's funny throwing cake at people? You guys are idiots. I'm going to come up there, blah, blah, blah. And we are both just, we're about to die. It's like, I literally want to just disappear. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world.
David Sampson gave a sermon at a black church.
I needed their support for public money for the ballpark.
So hold on.
I was the only white guy in there.
Jewish.
I am Jewish. I am white.
Like, the white is the
How did you? Okay, so how did you dress?
How I dressed is I went to visit a black tailor.
God.
Hold on.
No.
And I had a suit made for me by Andre Dawson's tailor. So I looked like Andre Dawson, and it was awesome. I had a consigliere who was Cuban, and we had a plan of all the different people we had to get votes from. So we went to the Cubans, we went to the non-Cuban Hispanics. 100%. I had to go get one personally made, a Guayavera.
What's the best story in there? Which one did you guys like best? And I will give you the context for what's happening in the lower right-hand portion of the screen in a second, because this was the moment that got us ended at ESPN, basically. And what you can see in the corner is executive producer Billy Gill has been sent to the penalty box, and I don't believe he can hear what I'm saying, right?
I could not. But I knew.
Right. Well, so
I knew what was coming.
So you did know what was coming. So the directors in Miami just put it on Billy, because clearly, if this person's going to be suspended, no organization that made this go viral would just air a guy sitting there the entire time. Just Billy sit like that's the reason they went to that shot. That's good directing right there. Is the reason they went to that shot. And Billy looks like he's afraid, even though he's not afraid. But he was afraid.
My wedding was a week away. That was the day before I was going, or 2 days before I was going away on like a bachelor trip for like a 2-day trip. Just before I was
bachelor party is what we call it.
Yeah, but it wasn't a party. It was like we went to like friggin' Orlando. It wasn't like cocaine and strippers. As bachelor parties have.
So it wasn't good.
No. It's good. It was a good time bonding with friends, And then they were all telling me, wasn't that so great what your boss said? I was like, no, I may come back and not have a job. It was horrifying. It was terrible. Like, oh my God, that was so great what he did. I was like, it was absolutely not great what he did. I'm coming back from this trip where I'm supposed to be unwinding, getting ready to wed my beautiful wife, and I don't know if I can provide for this family anymore because Dan wanted to prove a point. Yeah. And he wanted to have a little hissy fit, even though we were trying to say, hey, let's tone things down a little bit. Let's calm down. And he wanted to do it anyways. So no, it was not great, friends. I'm quite stressed out right now. And surely things can't get worse next week. And they did.
The way that it worked out was... He came back from his honeymoon, and we were no longer going to be with ESPN.
No, we were still with ESPN, but I came back from our honeymoon, and 790 said, "Hit the road, Jack."
That was true. That was another thing.
You guys are too hot for us.
That was another thing that happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every meaningful moment in my life, I can connect to disaster at work that I could not enjoy in my personal life because someone was acting amok here professionally.
That's a great top 5 list.
No, it's not. It's tragedies of my life, scars. Mental scars that cannot be healed. Years of therapy I've attempted to, unsuccessfully.
Clearly.
We will keep...
Like the mark of a raptor. They can never be taken off of my soul. What? I was going to say brain, but soul.
What's the mark of a raptor?
Yeah, raptor. Like, in Jurassic Park, like, I guess that maybe is a T-Rex. The mark... Like,
I think it was a raptor.
It's a very common expression. People say it all the time. Ever heard of Thomas Ederson?
The Toronto Raptors logo is basically what you're saying.
That was more of a basketball shape. We have a pickle later. Roy ruined that surprise.
I apologize. Apologies again for that.
We have to get to Diana Russini in a second as well, and I want to because in 30 minutes, Greg Cote is going to reveal where the Dolphins are ranked, and I think Zaslow's close to sniffing out this story.
I actually just got a text that my dad. It was originally going to be noon. He said to the Herald, "Hey, the Le Batard Show's doing this thing. We got to get it out at 10. He has not got confirmation yet that it will be out at 10. He's hoping it will be. So.
Oh, no, then we got to break this news on him. We can't wait if we know. It's got to happen before we leave the air today. We can't wait around for him, especially if Zaslow gets the story.
Yeah. The Herald, I don't know if you know, I don't work for the Herald. The Herald's deadlines mean nothing to me.
Just to be clear, we could wait.
He's our friend.
Yeah, we could.
No, we can't wait. We should break the story. If Zaslow has the story, the news waits for no man.
You're positioning it as if we don't have a choice. We are making a decision.
The news waits for no man.
Do you think breaking news is about to come out and somebody in the newsroom says, "What about our friend?"
Sometimes. Yeah.
No.
Sometimes. What do you think the whole Epstein list thing is?
Now maybe. It's not how it used to be back in Zaslow's day. I'm going to call your dad here, and as I do this, I'm going to
another crime being committed.
I'm going to FaceTime him.
Put him on speaker.
But hold on a second, and I will put, even though you guys shamed me for that yesterday, I will put him on speaker. But before I do that, just real quick, because we're in the local hour, and I really do want to talk Notre Dame. Mike, what are you doing later today to talk Notre Dame for 5 straight hours? If anyone wants 5 straight hours of Mike Ryan, hasn't been allowed to talk about it here, so he wants to talk about it 5 straight hours there.
As a partner over at Canes Insight, make weekly appearances. Canes Insight broke a lot of news over the off season for my money, and quite literally my money. The best Canes coverage there is out there. We're doing our 2nd annual Hurricane. Last year we kicked things off with a 5-hour marathon that had a ton of guests. This year the marquee is even bigger. It begins at 3 o'clock. We have Chris Felica, Bruce Feldman, Jay Lucas, a new men's team coach, David Lake, Jessica Smetana, and Mike Golick Jr. will be joining us, Kevin Clark, Brett McMurphy, and hopefully a big-time special guest.
Dude, you should get Xavier Restrepo. He's got nothing going on now.
He's got nothing going on.
Waived by the Titans yesterday. Billy, how many people sent you that? Because
just you, but I had other people tag me. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like that I'm being, tagged and people think that I'm celebrating someone's downfall. Which
you are smiling.
Well, no, because I got the text from Dan, so I knew we were going to get here eventually today.
It's his dream.
It was an easy joke to throw in there, but I don't like being, attached to essentially my words. I'd like to just kind of say things for laughs and move on. Like, I don't like this
Billy,
Josh Allen stupid
Billy,
face
but
thing
Billy,
years later.
Billy, you got it right though on Restrepo. Look.
There's plenty of that story still to be told.
You don't really do consequences well.
Fair.
I'm gonna call Cody. All right, because we have the chance of getting him pissed off all over again.
I'm nervous about this.
For the podcast listeners, Dan is calling Greg Cody on his phone, maybe.
Turn the volume up.
Seems to be confusion there. He's fumbling around with the phone there.
Yeah.
Now he's raising the volume.
Yeah.
I don't hear a ring.
2 fingers thumb on one
all
side.
Right.
Oh, couldn't figure it out.
We'll try again with Diana Russini.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours, Dan.
It is. It is everyone's. We have Diana Russini on with us this season, and it's nice to have her back. I hope we are joined by more impersonations of her mother than we have gotten in recent developments around here. There's a burning question on ESPN right now. I just want you guys to know. And the question was, Notre Dame likely to run the table if they beat Miami on Sunday? And Louis Riddick said, yes. Burning question. He's already saying Notre Dame undefeated if they win Sunday against Miami.
They got a really hard schedule. Yeah, at Arkansas, Texas A&M, Boise State. Hard disagree.
Okay. That's good, healthy disagreement. I hope it gets inflamed the next 3 days.
Regression candidate.
Diana, before we get to all the football news going on, do you mind if I just call my friend Greg Cody here real quick again, because we've got a breaking story around here, and I want to get your opinion on it as well. So just hold on for just a second, all right?
She said yes.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I have a story, so I need to just take a break.
Dueling breaking stories.
No, there's big breaking news in the NFL.
Okay, there's big breaking news. Hold on a second, Greg. We got big breaking news in the NFL, and Diana's reacting to it. Mike, what's the big breaking news?
Adam Thielen, homecoming.
Adam Thielen going back to Minnesota.
There it is. Diana Russini is on the story. Greg Cody, you've been scooped. Adam Thielen is going back to Minnesota. We are calling you because Zaslow is saying that as a journalist, he has a responsibility to tell the American people what your rankings of the Dolphins are, because we have the news. We know what the number is, and Zaslow wants to break the news before the Miami Herald prints it.
I can't stop him from doing that. Maybe the draft party Thursday night can be at Zaslow's house if that happens.
Okay, so you're threatening again. You're threatening again to take the draft party if Zaslow reports something that Christopher can't control because Zaslow's a journalist.
My livelihood.
Yes, even if he's totally guessing, if he says the correct number, the draft party Thursday will not be at my house. Tell Christopher that.
I would never guess, though, because I have journalistic integrity. I wouldn't guess. I don't do that.
Okay, if you say so.
Well, we'll see.
Well, wait a minute. So when is it coming out in the Miami Herald?
Well, my boss just called me, but I was on the phone FaceTiming with Dan Le Batard, so I couldn't take the call. So I might have an answer to that, but I couldn't take his call.
Why don't you do a three-way call? Get your boss on the line, too, with all of us. Yeah,
well, go ahead.
Good idea.
It's a Wild Billy Wednesday, after all. Go ahead. Call John Devine. See what he's got. Give him a call. I'm sure you're very good with the FaceTime technology.
I need a filter.
Yeah, right. That's going to happen.
All right, but serious, Greg, we're not joking around. Zaslow feels like he's close to having the story, has the story?
Close.
Okay, but what? So if he does that, he can do this at 10:01, right? And he'll be okay, 10:01 a.m.?
I don't know yet when the
Greg, we can't wait for you. We can't wait for you. He's got the news. The news doesn't wait for anybody.
The news breaks when the news breaks.
Like you said, 10 o'clock. We need to break the news.
As Mike Ryan, the adult in the room, mentioned a few minutes ago, it is totally the choice of your team, your show team, when this is revealed.
Zaslow's a journalist. We can't control what Zaslow reports. I couldn't keep my engagement from you.
The show stops when my integrity begins.
Okay, fake journalist Zaslow can do whatever he wants.
I'm on the website. I think it's out.
Stop that.
But I can't. You can stop him on behalf of me, but apparently you won't.
What do you mean stop him? What kind of
hosting the draft Thursday night, but
that's not journalism. It's not journalism for me to stop him from doing journalism. Like, what do you? So news isn't news when it just regards you? Why can't we have the clicks and the views from where it is you rank the Dolphins?
Maybe that's how state-controlled news works. That's not how I work.
Okay, this conversation is beyond absurd. It's beyond absurd. Hang on just a second.
Are you calling John Devine like Billy requested?
Well, Thielen got traded. There's a lot of people reporting stuff right now.
I'm just looking here.
Diana's chair is empty. Thank you, Greg, for all your hard work on the show. You've forgotten that we're doing the show again.
I'm just looking here.
This is what happens with him. It is fundamentally amazing that he is, at this age, somebody who still doesn't know when we're doing the show. But I think Zaslow has to break this news. And before we get back to Diana Russini here, Mike, the thing that you're doing, talking Canes football, is that the third game of the weekend? Is Notre Dame the third best game of the weekend? You have, for the first time ever in week one, you've got 6 top 10 teams playing against each other. That's crazy. And in the middle of it, you've got Arch Manning and you've got the history of Miami Notre Dame, which is a nostalgia matchup.
You have 3 top 10 matchups. That's the first time since 1945 that awesome. You've had that many top 10 matchups this early in the season. In fact, the last time that we've had 3 top 10 matchups was way back in 2017 in the same week. Ironically enough, that was when Miami beat the out of Notre Dame at Hard Rock Stadium back then. So this is a really exciting time. You have college football is putting its best foot forward and giving you the biggest possible spectacle to start the season to capitalize on no NFL. And on top of that, you have Lee Corso's farewell.
I think without question, Canes Notre Dame's number 2. I mean, we all know Texas Ohio State's number 1. There's no disputing that. But I think Notre Dame is ahead of Clemson LSU.
I agree. I think, especially if you look at the spread, that is expected to be a closer game. But I'm as big a homer as there is when it comes to University of Miami. Arch Manning at the defending national champs. Of course. The big noon window is crazy.
They're not sending me there because it's not the biggest game, Dan.
Well, tell us about where you're going this weekend, Zaslow, as part of your college football coverage as a rising star at ESPN.
It's out! Say it, Zaslow.
It's out.
I just got a text that it's out.
I didn't have the confirmation yet.
Oh,
he
no.
tweeted, he undercut us.
Oh,
that's what he was doing.
That's what he was doing.
That's garbage.
That's what he was doing. That is garbage. He's getting the clicks. Wow. He's getting the clicks. Sleeper. All right, so hold on a minute.
He scooped himself.
Before you tell us where it is that he ranked the Dolphins, I want to throw my theory in front of the audience and Chris as well. Billy, what are you laughing about back there?
Because I saw where he ranked them.
Okay. All right. Right. Now, wait. I want to guess here. I want to guess what's happened here because Zaslow, you have found Greg Cote.
Okay, I think I have it. But if you were saying it's already out, I think I have it now.
Okay, you've gotten the text that you need in order to. All right, so
you have to get double confirmation in journalism, Dan. I got it now.
All right, so but you're telling me that Greg Cody's now scooped himself by putting it on the internet. Damn him, he's faster than we are. The
should have known he was tweeting. He got so distracted. He's like, "What I'm doing here?"
He couldn't do both things. Yeah.
He concocted a plan while talking to you. He was doing multiple things at once.
So dim-witted and yet outsmarted us. And all the while, Diana Russini has fled the room because Adam Thielen has been traded.
I mean, I don't know if that's bigger than where Greg Cote has the very average Miami Dolphins ranked.
All right, so I know, my dear audience, I know that I've been on this Greg Cote thing about, 7 hours too long. But I believe what happened here is this. Chris Cote yesterday correctly said what his father had put the Dolphins at, which was 14. Greg Cote misinterpreted that as Chris Cote looked at my computer and became immediately enraged. Escalated toward us all sorts of threats, and now I believe he went home and changed where they are. But he's not going to drop them out of the top. He won't drop them out of the top 16 because he will have them in the top half of the league because he's a homer forever.
I would think he might even go up with them just to throw us a curveball because we would assume he'd go down with them.
See, this is interesting. I'm going to tell you now what I found out, okay? I had them, based on my sources, all right, that he had them 14. But were my sources wrong? Because I'm looking at his article right now. He just tweeted out 2 minutes ago. That's not where they're ranked. They're not ranked 14.
I think he changed it. I think he changed it for no other reason. And if I had to guess, the betting favorite would be 15. Is that the betting favorite?
I go 16. 15's too easy. It's like one spot down. He's going to get crazy.
No, but he doesn't know that we're on to him, though. He doesn't know that. I don't think he knows.
He knows I said 14 yesterday. He thought I knew that.
That's what my sources said.
Yeah. So I think he goes to 16.
Billy, what was it?
He has them at 15. Oh! He also has them making the playoffs, but he has them at 8 and 9. So he has them making the playoffs with a losing record.
Covering all his bases.
He can be wrong in multiple facets, but he could also be right in one of those areas.
The conviction he had for over 7.5 wins does not match that prediction.
Crazy.
He was so strong on hammer over 7.5.
Well, he proved it right. He took him at 8.
Diana, if off the top of your head, if you had to go 1 through 32, where would you put the Dolphins? And what are you scribbling so furiously? I hate the life of an insider. I feel bad for you.
Oh, hi, guys. Yeah, so Adam Thielen just got traded, or at least it's getting finalized right now, from the Carolina Panthers back to Minnesota. Obviously, you guys know Minnesota has got some problems at wide receiver in terms of suspensions and injuries. So it's a big reunion. He wanted to go there. The thing that's wild about this is on this story, even late afternoon yesterday, there was a lot of frustrations because it appeared both sides were not close to coming to an agreement. That Carolina knew very much so that that Minnesota really wanted to make this work. I think Thielen wanted to go back to Minnesota as well. And everyone yesterday said, this is probably not going to happen. They're being really difficult on this. So the fact that it shook out, so Minnesota gets Thielen and Carolina gets a 5th round pick and a 2027 4th round pick back. So yeah, life of an insider is stupid, but it's also really fun. The Dolphins out of 32, 27. I have a lot of concerns for them this year. I do. There's just a lot of smoke around them. Obviously, we've heard enough of all the things that are going on behind the scenes there, and obviously with trading away Jalen Ramsey, I just think this is a team that needs to find itself this year. And Tua, who appears to continue to take steps forward here in terms of his play, this has got to be the year where he can figure it out. And there's some rumors going around that the Dolphins were open to perhaps trading Tyreek Hill. And from what I can gather, that doesn't appear to be on the table. They know they need him. They need him out there to help this offense. But yeah, I don't feel great about them right now.
Diana, back on Thielen real quick. Carolina's thought to be a team hopefully on the rise given how they closed last season. Not really a team that was interested in selling. I imagine that was a sticking point when it came to the compensation here. Is this a ringing endorsement of where McMillan is in his progression? Because without Thielen, that wide receiver core does take a hit.
Yeah, no, look at it from Dave Canales and Dan Morgan's perspective here, right? They are trying to build something, and they're trying to get the most out of a quarterback that has been really up and down. And Adam Thielen brings that great veteran presence and confidence that they have in him that he can do this job. So it made a lot of sense that Carolina was being tough about it. I kind of understood their perspective on it. But they obviously made the decision here in the end that they are better off trading Adam Thielen now to at least get something in return for a 35-year-old wide receiver rather than just have him this year and get nothing for him next year. So I'm sure Minnesota is thrilled right now as I'm told they are currently trying to work out the contract situation for Adam Thielen.
Diana, would we make your life easier right now if we just let you go? Because I don't love the stress that we're putting you under. You're in the middle of something and you needed.
No.
You're all right, because I feel like your head is racing because Adam Thielen.
I'm just doing what I have to do, which is like 3 jobs at once.
Okay, so you have to do this.
But if this is bad radio, then I get it. So
it's not bad. I just don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep you from your job at the Athletic, where you're always busy being an insider. But the news that you're getting here on Adam Thielen that makes it that we can't talk to you about the rest of the league because the league stops when Adam Thielen gets traded. What the
league doesn't stop.
No, the whole league. No, everything. Your life just shut down. Look, I saw what, Diana. We're doing a show with you. It's a substantive show. You run out of the screen for 10 minutes because Adam Thielen's been traded. I thought a baby was microwaving a phone again because you're and I don't know why it made you that crazy, but you left what we were doing for 10 minutes and now you're back, but you're distracted. You're obviously distracted.
Yes, I am distracted because it is my job to work for the Athletic to get this intel for them. And it was a story that me and a couple of reporters were working on together on this. So yes, this is what we're all about at the moment. But in about 10 seconds, no one's going to probably care about an Adam Thielen trade. So yeah, I don't want to leave, but if you guys want me to come back, I can do that.
Feels like both me and Diana got scooped.
Yeah, by Greg Cody. By
the way, have we picked up on the pattern here that this happens a lot on this show? I think I have to change my time slot.
I just think you're busy, Diana, and I imagine your life to be this at all times, and it stresses me out because it's the gypsy's curse. May all your dreams come true. Because here it is. You're a spectacular football insider. It never ends.
I'm going to die soon.
Chasing a story.
Revelation.
Chasing a story. You can come back in 30 minutes if you feel better. You're welcome to spend time around us whenever you like.
Billy, that might be a prediction.
Thank you, Diana.
Thanks, guys.
I've read a lot, Shams and Schefter talking about like what the insanity and the thrill and the crack of being an insider is, and the idea that your life can stop right in the middle of your day because Adam Thielen has been traded because the information business is super valuable right now and she's really good at her job. And that's one of the reasons she's great at her job, because she goes and she attacks the story.
Yeah, by all accounts, it's not terribly interesting news, Adam Thielen being traded.
You shut up. I am so into this. It's a homecoming.
Like, where's the line, though? Because, like, I thought he would have been on the other side of this is not that interesting.
Guys, everybody wrote him off. And he should have put up consecutive 1,000-yard seasons for Carolina. He did not write back, Billy. He's got good football still left in him. And now he's headed back home.
Good golfer.
This is big for J.J. McCarthy. And, yes, I care more because I golfed with him.
Yeah.
I would also have everyone know that Adam Thielen, over the last couple of seasons, doing it where he has done it with a quarterback that got rejuvenated because he still plays like a number one, is one of the great stunning things of my football lifetime to see, not just the entirety of his career, but that, wait a minute, you're going to keep doubting this guy the last 2 seasons when Randy Moss goes to Oakland, he can't get to 1,000 yards, but wherever Thielen goes, he makes the offense better?
Because he's white, right?
Yes.
And because he was injured, and I guess that we all thought he was done when he got to Carolina, that he wasn't going to be taking any of the offense, but mostly because he was white.
Yeah. Checks out.
That's what I thought.
The life of an insider, you don't want me to talk about the mental health perils anymore.
What is the worst part of the life?
Get the best laugh.
Zaz is an insider, though. You could tell us.
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. Look at this face.
Yeah.
I'm looking good these days. Look at me. I'm dressed up. I look nice today.
You got beat on that story by Cody. It was embarrassing to watch.
And you know what's the worst part? It's not that I got beat on it. It's that we didn't pick up what was happening.
No,
we really underestimated
it's
him.
normal for him to just lose his him
Yeah.
trailing off. That wasn't that crazy of a thing.
Like, do you think was he actually tweeting
Oh,
at
yes.
the same time
Yes.
as
He outsmarted us.
We saw a text of it'll go out at 10, so he's like, all right, let me
He
get
threw
through
everyone
this."
off. He said, "Oh, I'm just checking something." And we're like,
Fooled us.
"What's wrong with you? You don't know what you're doing." And he knew.
when he hit that tweet button? He must have been so proud of
He's wily.
I will tell you that Chris is right when he says we underestimated him. And I stand before you in a live audience, or sit before you in a live audience saying, oh my God, you guys just saw it. Our whole show got beat by an old dim-witted man. Like, just got tricked and turned around by this senile old man, as White Hat calls him.
That'll make it better.
I mean, 13 yards per catch. That's his best season in that stat since pre-COVID.
8 and 9 after telling us to hammer the over is crazy.
Roy, can you please find for me the sound, okay? Jessica Spantana and Mike Golick Jr. have together a podcast, Echoes. It's a very good Notre Dame name. Echoes is good. I asked her what the second choice was. She said there were no second choices. It was Echoes. And Notre Dame Miami's about to happen. And who was the guest on Jessica's show to talk about Miami Notre Dame?
Ian Book. He came in relief
What
in
do you
that 2017 game. And Jessica asked Ian about the atmosphere at Hard Rock Stadium on that fateful night in 2017.
And then it was so loud, couldn't hear anything. And then I remember actually having a pretty good drive when I went in there. I threw a whole shot to Equinemius, started to drive down the field, thinking we'd maybe get 3 points or something before half, and then threw a pick six. Welcome to the turnover chain. So that was my experience, but it was hostile. And I remember until we went down to Georgia, it was the loudest place. Honestly, it might be louder than Georgia.
Wow.
I was like top 2 loudest places I've ever played in my career.
Louder than Michigan?
Yeah. Louder than Michigan.
Blacksburg?
Louder. Yeah.
Louder than Cape Canaveral when a rocket goes off. Louder than when Mike Piazza hit that walk-off in Shea Stadium after 9/11. Louder than when Stone Cold Steve Austin helped Mankind win the WWF title.
No way.
It's the Austin Pop. Oh, you could see how much this meant to Jessica on that video. Not happy that was the answer.
Why is it so hard for people to believe that people in Miami can be loud about sports?
The thing is, it's like such a crazy cell phone because we're capable of that kind of atmosphere, and we don't really dial it up to that level nearly enough. People are right to take shots.
We don't
at
give
us.
it away. You got to earn it.
Well, I think on Sunday they're gonna earn it. I mean, it's a top 10 matchup at Hard Rock Stadium against a hated rival that hasn't won down here in Miami since 1981, and usually they get their asses handed to them when they come down here.
So Mike Ryan is about to do 5 hours of twitchy cocaine, where he talks Canes football all afternoon. Because if you're going to get into the nostalgia of sport with The Last Dance or with the Cowboys documentary or wherever it is that your grandfather or grandmother or father or mother passed down the stories, Notre Dame, Miami has no real good reason to be a rivalry other than before all the chaos of today with the conferences, like a couple of independents kept facing each other, and then it became a holy war, Catholics versus convicts, and it was delightful. It was just magical and partly racist television that so the convicts from Miami, and they made a couple of 3 movies about one of them from Notre Dame's side, because they played at the top of the sport and they were so different. And so you have a clash here of what you can say are historical titans. And Jimmy Johnson began his rise as unpopular when he kicked Notre Dame's ass on television and ran up the score. And Notre Dame, I think, who was the broadcaster? Was it Ara Parsegan? Just wailing on, like, have some dignity, have some class, because that's where, Miami passed Notre Dame. You're about to do like 5 days of tailgating toward this thing, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bunch of idiots are flying in town for this one. This one's going to be great. I'm super excited about this because I'm super excited about the season. I get really jacked up for this rivalry. Notre Dame is coming off of season in which they were unbelievable despite being hurt throughout the college football playoff. They earned that ranking. They were a runner-up and performed admirably against a much better Ohio State team given the MASH unit that they became. I'm super jacked up about this because I also believe us to be a really good team, Miami. I think Miami is good. I think that there are perceived advantages, and most people may just blindly say, along the trenches, Notre Dame's better. No, they're not. Miami's the bigger team along the trenches. This is going to come down to Miami's reshaped defense, whether or not they can stop a really good running back in Jeremiah Love, and to see if they actually did indeed improve that secondary.
It's going to be pretty wild because I think that, look, I remember that game in 2017. I wasn't there, but I was watching it, and just even the way it came across on television, it was the most obvious, Notre Dame has no chance tonight. And then, of course, it was 28-0 before you blinked, all right? And I feel like going into the game this weekend, I feel like there is going to be this responsibility from the home crowd where they want to live up to what that was like in 2017. So it's going to be just as loud, if not louder.
I agree with you. It is kind of strange, and again, a cell phone that people are chasing the ghost of 2017. For that stadium, that's always been the barometer for a raucous environment. And I do think that there is kind of a responsibility to live up to that come Sunday night.
Yeah.
The entirety of it, though, when it comes to the Miami fan base being defensive because they have a persecution complex, and at least in part because back when they were playing Miami and Notre Dame, it felt like they were persecuted. So, like, that's the history that's getting grandfathered in. I'm telling you, the portrayal of these teams back then was Miami are the gangsters and Notre Dame, they're the holy ones, and that was a quainter time in a million different ways that built it into what it is today. But I'm wondering, Billy, when you hear Mike talk like this, because Mike is homerific, but he's also on the inside of the program here and in the inside of the business machine, when you hear him talk this way, it feels like Mike Ryan is going into the season feeling like Mario Cristobal and Miami has the better horses, the better physical, that Cristobal was hired so that by this year, he would have bigger, better players than everyone else like he did when he was the recruiter at Alabama. So it seems like Mike feels like he's seen something in these practices that has suggested to him, oh, no, Carson Beck is going to pick up where Cam Ward left off. And that feels optimistic in a way that would feel biased. Can it be both biased and informed?
I mean, once the games are played, I guess we'll find out, right? Because they've just been playing against themselves. You don't really know where any team stands presently.
But Mike feels like he knows. I feel like
I know. He said that they were going to win by 3 scores last week. Yeah. That seems a bit optimistic.
But Mike is carrying himself as if he feels like he knows something.
That's Mike.
The rest of us don't know. Yes, that's Mike. That is Mike just generally walking around. But on this particular subject, he's going to do 5 hours later today because he can't talk about this enough. Like, we have to go take the air out of the tire over there.
Oh, I'm going to try to talk about it enough. I might.
I think we have.
I think you should tell people if they want 5 hours of Mike will tell you all he knows about what he's seen.
I wouldn't pitch it like that. I would change the pitch.
Okay. I would pitch it like that because Canes Insight is for Miami Hurricanes fans. And if you're just a casual observer, want to know about this big game, we are going to have Notre Dame representation. We are going to have national voices as well, and Bruce Feldman and Brett McMurphy.
It sounds like a big show that you're doing here with a lot of different people for a giant game. And this is the future on where it is you can mainline this stuff because people can talk about it for 5 hours because they want to, with enthusiasm, build up the tailgate to this thing. But it sounds like Mike Ryan is seeing something in the huddle. I told you guys the story when I was on the campus at the University of Miami. Okay, I'm in school, and during those 4 years, I'm a high school kid. I don't know what professional football is, what college football is. I don't know anything about anything. My team in high school was terrible. So I'm walking into the University of Miami locker room for the first time as a freshman at the University of Miami. I've not been in many locker rooms. Standing in front of me is Jerome Brown, who would go on to just terrify the rest of the league. But at this point, I'm a freshman. I'm like, this is a student who is my age at school here, Jerome Brown. And so I don't have any context for a home team that they didn't lose a game while I was in school because their guys were bigger than everyone else. And then when I went in the locker room when they were on probation, I walked into guys with pimples on their faces, young guys, clearly kids. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I have the context for this. It feels like Mike's in a locker room where he's saying, no, they've got the studs this year.
It has to look a certain way. I remember being at practice during the Manny Diaz years going, who the hell is that? And it being Lou Headley, the punter. And there was one other guy, Chase Smith, who's actually a holdover still on this roster. Now you barely notice him. I remember feeling good about Derek King coming back. All right, let's do this. Let's go measure ourselves up against Alabama, and stepping on the field in Atlanta and knowing right away we had no shot in hell because they dwarfed our guys.
Okay, what were you saying this time last year?
This time last year, the body types are there, and that Cam Ward is going to be good. And by the way, I think Miami delivered on expectations. They didn't surpass them. Would have loved to get to Charlotte. They didn't have an opportunity to play the other teams in the mix for Charlotte. They failed. They blew a 21-point lead. That would have been a great end to their season. They would have had one loss headed into Charlotte. They were 10 win. They were close to 10 wins last year, and that was pretty good for year 3. Year 4 needs to end in Charlotte. Year 4 needs to be a CFP appearance. They look really good along the lines. 1 through 22, I like where they're at. Now, it's not exactly what Dan said. They're not going to have the talent advantage against the likes of Texas or Ohio State. Miami's outgunned in that regard. But it's going to come down to, are our guys good enough on a given day along the trenches to be able to dominate individual assignments? And I think 1 through 22, this roster is as good as it's been in Miami in like 20 years.
So Stugotz is doing God Bless Football, and you can catch God Bless Football every day. And I've been wanting to talk to him about the New York Jets practicing on Sunday by themselves. They had no coaches. Did you guys see that? They had a players-only, like, not a lot of people have seen that, a players-only practice where they go out there on their off day to practice. This is after I have seen a Hard Knocks ripoff on Amazon that I had not seen before called The Home Team, where Amazon Prime is doing on 6 Jets players from last year. I don't know who they are. Can you look this up for me? They're going through the lives. What are you laughing about?
Billy and I have a theory. I think that you said so Stugotz as a crutch and just a normal transition, and then you covered it up pretty well and went into the New York Jets.
That's what I thought, too.
I thought that was like just your normal muscle memory transition.
I thought that, too.
You were so good at making it seem like we were going to talk about this Jets practice, and that's your natural transition, but I think you got caught up.
True or false?
Wait, Judge Zaz, you want to make a ruling?
Well, I mean, I can't read his mind. That's not a case that would be heard in my
I just
court.
want to see the prop again.
What?
I will admit with great shame, I hate the way these people can see through me. All of that was not only that I had done it, I put my head down and started doing like a cat with kitty litter, just saying, what's in the file on the Jets that I got in my head?
It's a good recovery.
It was a great recovery.
Thank you for noticing that. But I actually wanted to keep talking about Notre Dame, and I just lost my way with the crutch.
You just said so Stugotz.
Yeah. You don't think that while people are hearing us talk about Notre Dame, they wanted to all of a sudden hear about the Jets practicing on their own?
Some might have.
Technically a walkthrough. You're not allowed to have practices.
You know that Chiefs also have their own Hard Knocks?
Yeah. There's
called
so many.
Chiefs Kingdom.
The Kingdom.
Too much.
The Cowboys have their own thing.
Too much. It's a lot.
Just kick the ball off. Actually, you know what? Don't. Thank you for laying out and not having preseason football. This week is college football.
See what I'm saying? Zaz, see?
No, but
he's
they're not
glad.
taking a week off.
See? It's a week off.
No, it's
from
not
the
a week
Yes, it is a
off.
week off. See? He likes this week
a
off in the
ramp
NFL.
A week off.
It's a ramp up.
Were they playing last week and the week before and the week before that?
It's
Are they
always
playing?
been like this.
Are they playing next week?
No, this is a fairly new thing where
Thank
they
you.
where they take a week off before the
Michael.
regular season.
But we're not stopping. This isn't a go and stop and go again.
They started. Now they're stopping? And then next week, they're going again.
This is a ramp up. It's a ramp up.
It's a little break. Just saying, keep your mind open.
It hasn't. My mind's open.
It
hasn't started yet. You want to start and then stop for no reason.
Right. No, not for no reason. Can you stop interrupting Dan? He wants to talk about the Hurricanes.
And the Jets.
Jeez Louise.
And the Jets.
Enough, Zaz. God, well.
Klubnik versus Nussmeier in Clemson LSU. I mean, there's so many Heisman showcase games. This is wild. Hey, looking back on the film, Riley Leonard meant a lot to Notre Dame. When they needed to play, Riley Leonard was there. Can C.J. Carr do it? C.J. Carr has less experience than Emory Williams.
Oh, we're going to learn.
You guys can sort of hear football in the air, right? Like there's a bit of a scent around here that's slightly different here because you guys are saying play the games, but we've got 2 weeks here and we're going to fill it with some Kelce news and some pop culture, and we're going to break the internet with that love being real, evidently, unless you're still going to question
2
it.
weeks, dude. Like 3 days.
Boise kicks off at USF
Game day,
at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Bethune FIU, Friday. Check it out.
You on the call?
I am.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell
check
us
it out.
more. Where can people find you?
I think you're at FIUsports.com.
Why do
They'll
you
have a
do
link.
this in the shadows? Why do you do it secretly? Why?
It's not a secret. Look at the calendar. It's out there. There was a press release that came out, and then it kind of went away for
I
a
want to
minute.
see
don't
this
know what happened.
calendar that says FIU Bethune and then has your name underneath it.
You don't believe that I'm going to do it? Or
No,
you don't
I
believe
do,
the
but you're
calendar
telling people to
exists?
look at the calendar.
No, I'm just saying it's out there. I'm not one of self-promotion. Unlike you who walks around, oh, I'm on game night, I'm on this, I'm on that. You know, it's not me. Oh, look at me, Zazo 2.0. Oh, look at me, I'm on with
That's your
Amber.
impression of me?
Oh, look at me, I'm on with Freddie Fitz or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
Freddie Fitz, big star.
Yeah, well, I'm bigger than you.
Ooh. Give me the Suey category best laugh, please. I want all of the best laughs from the last year.
And now the Suey nominees for Best Laugh. Big Mac, the Elser Hotel valet guy. Adnan Verk. Al Michaels.
I want to...
Amin El Hassan. Andrew Hawkins. Andrew Siciliano.
Clearly.
Baron Davis. Billy Gill. Bob Costas. Charlotte Wilder. Chris Mad Dog Russo. Chris Cody.
Oh, boy.
Chris Fowler. You really think Chris Parnell. Chris Whittingham. Christine Lisi. Comedian Otsuko Otsatka. Dan Le Batard. Dan Le Batard again.
No.
Dan Patrick. Danny Green. David Allen Greer. David Sampson. David Sampson again. Diana Russini. Dominique Foxworth. Eric Hosmer.
Yeah.
Ernie Johnson. Frank Thomas.
And was extraordinary.
Craig Cody. Hank Azaria. Izzy Gutierrez. Jake Plummer. Jake Tapper. James Carville, the Ragin' Cajun. Jeff Kirchin. Jamel Hill.
Back at your leisure.
Jeremy Taché. Jessica Smetana.
Sure.
Jim Larinaga. Jonathan Zaslow. Juju Gotti. Marrow. Lewis Black. Maury Povich. Michael Ian Black. Mina Kimes. Mike Ryan.
We found out who was that one.
NASCAR driver Ryan Blaney. NBA insider Chris Haynes. Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman again.
All right then, ribs.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. Pablo Torre. Poppy Le Batard. Pat Forty. Pat Riley. Patton Oswalt. PK Subban. Rachel Nichols.
That's right.
Ron Funches. Rose Arias.
Yeah.
Rosie Perez. Roy Bellamy.
Ha 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 ha.
Roy Bellamy again. Roy Wood Jr.
You're crucifying everybody. So
Sam Morrell. Samantha B. Scott Van Pelt. Stan Van Gundy. Steve Kerr. Stormy Daniels. Stugotz. Ted Danson. Tiger Woods' former caddy, Steve Williams. Tim Kirchin. Tim Kirchin again. Tony Kaladiud. Tony Reale. Weird Al Yankovic. Sausage King and Wheel of Fortune contestant Will Jordan.
What a delight, Zaslow. Look at Amin El-Hassan joining us on remote here for this hour. And we are blessed to have him here because we have not yet gotten to what is obviously the biggest news of the day. We failed as a podcast in the modern age.
We covered Greg Gotti.
We have not talked.
We got to the Thielen trade.
We have not talked about Taylor and Travis are engaged. The love was real, and Amin is someone who doesn't believe in love. Amin, that's right. I don't mind saying it.
I love.
That might be your worst intro ever.
Wow.
Amin is someone who doesn't believe in love.
Tombstone, maybe?
You're all right, pal.
Inaccurate. I love. That's very well documented.
There
I'm a
were
big
many
fan of
people
love.
that were cynical about the love of these two people, and you were one of them. And there were a lot more cynics than there were people who thought these two were really in love. Have you heard Travis Kelce's father talk about how in love his young boy is? How in love, like he is smitten. And there was more. You're not going to tell me that most people in America were cynical about that relationship. For it to end in an engagement, love wins, and Amin, who does not love loses.
I love. And I was always, that's L. Duncan. Different black person, Dan, not me.
Dan.
It's a lovely person, but that's not me.
Dan got confused.
That is the mistake I made. That is the mistake.
Dan.
I'm sorry, Amin. I'm sorry. I thought you were Al.
I love, and I love that they love each other. And, me and the Kelce brothers go way back to before Taylor entered the picture. And so I'm just really happy and supportive for them. And I urge everyone, the public and the media, to give them their privacy. Guys, let's not kind of descend like a bunch of falcons trying to grab meat from the clutches of a falconer, right? You see this? All these companies are doing.
He's right.
What was that? What was that? What was that? Why the clutches of a
Yeah, keep
Falcons
up, guys.
going
Falconer.
Let L talk, Dan.
Holding, L. Hassan, L. Duncan. No, it's like you see all these companies doing all these promotions now. Oh, put Tay and Travis in the promo code and get 20% off. Like, that's not nice. You can't just use them as an excuse to sell your goods.
Can I ask you a question? I mean, because the world seemed to stop yesterday when the news came out for whatever reason, and you're right, like everyone was taking their engagement photo and putting it up like with their own comment and just kind of like trying to grift off of this whole thing. And I was thinking similar to you, like, I mean, okay, they're engaged. Like, they're not married yet, and let's just pump the brakes. They're just engaged. Like, I've seen engagements fall apart all the time. Not that I'm saying that would happen here, but everyone was kind of like poking around and all this stuff. And then old chatty Ed Kelce is coming out, and he's spilling all the details to pretty much anyone that would ask him. And I'm kind of like, Ed, what are we doing here, bud? Like, what's the end game here, Ed? Like, what are we trying to get out of this? Like, we know Donna got on a reality show, and everybody loves Mama Kelce. Like, is this an envy thing with Papa Ed that now he's just out there telling anyone, like, oh, you know, it didn't just happen. I knew that. This happened 2 weeks ago. I know all the information. I'll tell you all of it. What's Ed's deal?
Billy, I'll answer you like this. Imagine if Chris Cody, instead of being married to his lovely wife, was engaged to Taylor Swift. How do you think Greg Cody would behave?
I mean, does Taylor Swift know how much money you cashed in on the other day, Chris?
That's true.
We're not talking about that.
Let me hold $1. But yeah, like, how do you think Greg would behave? That's exactly that's almost to a T what Greg would do. Only Greg would have done it sooner.
What's the end game here, Ed?
I can't be the only one that wondered that. You didn't think that when you see, like, oh, confirmed they've been engaged for 2 weeks.
He gave a lot of quotes saying he knew all the details. He knew where the knees were, like, where weren't there 2 kneelings reported that he proposed in a way on one knee romantically? Like, I'm confused by why people reacted to this the way that they did, where it felt like it was the biggest thing that was happening anywhere in people talking.
Yes.
Dan, it was. It was.
Yeah, was it not?
Name something that was bigger.
But why should it be? Does it not seem extraordinarily...
Because your English teacher's marrying the gym teacher, Dan. Dynamite emoji.
She's the biggest pop star in the world. It's news.
People seem interested in their relationship, it would appear.
And her art is deeply personal in that it's autobiographical. Stugotz?
Are we concerned? Are we concerned about how the music is going to suffer? Because
being too happy,
no love.
Amin, I was thinking, and I'd like to, and Roy teased it earlier. I have a pickle that I think that we may have found ourselves in. If you'd like to play the
hit it, Roy.
How much?
$2.99. It's a good deal.
Hell of a deal.
So I like you, Amin. I love love. But I'm also a practical man, and I think a lot of people started having this conversation yesterday, and it was, will there be a prenup in this marriage?
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are men's of mean. You guys have prenups? Anyone have a prenup here?
Yep. No, I'm kidding.
No prenups?
I do not. No.
I'm Amin.
Okay, well,
not a man of mean.
I don't know how prenups work, but they seem to me to be awkward. To bring up the situation of, hey, I love you, I want to make this forever, but maybe it won't be. And in the case that it isn't, I want you to have nothing and suffer. So, like, that's what a prenup seems like it is to me.
That was a quick
right?
conversation with me and my wife. It was super quick because I assumed we were getting a prenup. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to get a prenup, right? And she's like, yeah, I'll get a lawyer too. And I'm like, okay, I really don't want to do it that way.
Well, that would have been fun. Why didn't you do that?
No, I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing?
No
here?
prenup.
What are we doing?
Boy.
I'm going to get married at 50 years old, and I'm going to say, by way of romance, let's gather up our lawyers?
Caved quick.
Have you not been told what wives love?
You know who loves it more, Jazz?
Who?
Ex-wives.
Because they were once a wife. It doesn't go away.
And now the love is gone for you.
It grows.
Yeah. Well, anywho, friends. So, the prenup might be coming, and the prenup obviously will be more so to protect Taylor than Travis, because Taylor has, I don't know if you guys have heard this, a lot of money.
Is she worth over $1 billion?
I think so.
Think about this. Has an athlete ever married a woman worth $1 billion?
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Giselle Bundchen, you think it was worth $1 billion?
I don't think
No
Giselle's
way.
worth
No
$1
way.
billion.
No way.
No, yes, she was.
You better pump your brakes.
$1 billion?
You guys speak ill of Giselle.
No, we're
the
not speaking.
star
That's not speaking
Saying
ill.
someone's not a
of the
billionaire is
motion
not
picture
speaking ill of them.
taxi.
Hey, Amin, you're not a billionaire.
The internet says she's worth $400 million, so maybe we were off.
So not even close.
Okay.
But she was okay. But Giselle Bundchen made more money in her career than Tom Brady.
Yeah, when you started saying that, and then Brady made more money.
But also, not $1 billion. Also, it's funny to say you're worth $400 million. You're not even close to $1 billion. But she's not.
Which is true.
She's further away from $1 billion than she's
She's
close
closer
to it.
to having no money.
Than $1 billion. $1 billion seems to be a lot of money.
It sounds like Giselle Bundchen might be broke.
Closer to being broke than a billionaire for sure. But she did get divorced from Tom.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. That's a good point, Billy. We don't know what. No one knows their prenup.
There might have been a prenup.
Right?
It could have been a situation where Tom said prenup and Giselle said, I'll get my lawyers, and that was that.
So what's the pickle here?
All right, so here's the pickle.
Just so you know, we cited the internet. Times of India says Giselle's now worth more than Tom, but also citing the divorce as to why.
Yikes. All right, so here's the pickle. We would assume that the prenup would protect Taylor from losing, half of her stuff or whatever it is, should this marriage that hasn't happened yet, should it not work out. Now, if you're Travis, I think you have some leverage here, right? You say, you know what, babe, or whatever he calls Taylor, you know what, babe, I would love to sign that prenup, but included in that prenup, I would like a stipulation. I will not get half of your stuff. However, should this not work out, there will be no love songs written about our relationship.
Ooh.
And now Taylor needs to decide. I don't know if you know this, she's made a lot of money off of heartbreak. So, if this marriage does not work out, she could make a ton of money off of this failed relationship. And she could potentially make more than half of the money she presently has at time of marriage.
Can you imagine the Travis album?
Calvin Harris did not like breaking up with her because he became art.
So, if you're Taylor, you're in a pickle. Do I give up half of my stuff on the front end knowing I can make up more on the back end because of the heartbreak? Or do I protect my assets now? That, my friends, is a pickle.
Follow me if you will, Billy. What if Travis, rather than negotiate for no love songs about me, negotiates a percentage of all proceeds off of love songs about me? So you can do it, but in the words of Eazy-E, Dre Day only made easy payday, right?
Right.
I'm just going to get richer as you make songs about me.
Wasn't Ed also saying that Taylor Swift was getting a little antsy? Who was quoted as saying that
That was Chatty Ed. Guy won't shut up.
So wait a minute. How are we feeling about that? How are we feeling about Chatty Ed?
Not great. That's what I told you. Ed, shut up.
Chatty Ed.
I love how I said, follow me if you will, and then nobody followed me. You're like, no, that's a bad idea, man. No, why would he want to cut of that money? No,
I said if you will, we won't.
I know. That's what I said.
We're big on
Chris,
choices
thanks.
here.
You guys don't think it speaks as a symbol to our numbing love of nonsense that everyone would stop to talk about their love after a whole lot of people questioned that their love was real and now still question if their love is real, right? You're telling me
Sounds
that-
like, Dan, you're the one questioning whether
Yeah.
love is real.
We think it's a
I
love
love
story.
love.
Yeah, me too.
I've always thought it was a love story. I know Travis is way before for Taylor, and I saw the look in his eyes. Saw him change his haircut. That's not fake love. That's real love. I knew it.
Based off the flowers, she had to know it was coming, right? Like this had to be. I'm not saying that I believe the love is real, but she knew she was getting proposed to, right?
The professional photographer also is probably a hint.
But it's just like she walks into this thing, like I just imagine her like, oh, I'm not getting proposed to here. This is just the most beautiful setting I've ever been in.
Yeah. It doesn't
Poor
seem
ignorant
like
child.
Doesn't seem like that's normally his yard. To Chris's point, is his yard probably doesn't have those floral arches around and all of those arrangements there.
You guys are so ignorant. You think that there's not a professional photographer around Taylor Swift at all times? You think when she walks into any yard, they haven't already staged it? Everything she does is a production. Why would it just be a regular yard all of a sudden? If anything, if he had done it in a regular looking yard, that would have throwing up like some.
Imagine
alarms,
if he
like,
just
what's
did it at like
happening here?
Chili's. Yeah. That would have smacked.
That would have been awesome.
I would have been like, now that's how
That
you
is
do it,
Chili's.
dude.
That
Cracker
is
Barrel.
Chili's.
Babe, 2 for 25. What are we thinking?
Right. Like,
Ride the Dante.
be humble with it.
The baby back ribs are coming right around that corner. That is Chili's.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Bigger star, Freddie Fitz or Jonathan Zaslow? Because I feel like we now have beef at ESPN Radio where Zaslow's saying he's a bigger star than Freddie Fitz. Isn't that what's being claimed?
Well,
here?
it's not a person.
It's not a real person.
Is the problem?
Well, but,
yeah.
Well,
Hard to
but-
create
no,
beef
no, but
with.
No, but it's not a real person, but it is a real person. That's the thing. That's the thing. It is a real person, but now we've put Zaslow in a bad spot, so I should probably back away from the poll.
Do you guys think, because I think this is a thing, Zaz, you might follow me on this. I mean, you might follow me on this. I
mean,
know.
follow us.
Do you guys think, like, I know there's always, like talk about the ring afterwards amongst, the friends.
I was
the
expecting
gals.
more.
Look at the ring. What do you think? And I'm sure that oftentimes, I shouldn't say oftentimes, but I'm sure sometimes the person who was proposed to, the friends are like, ooh, like that's nice, but they're not, like, don't mean it. And then, like, the person who has the ring on is like, yeah, it's the best that he could do, like he tried, whatever. You think that's a situation with Taylor where it's like, yeah, this is like a 7-carat diamond. It's like, yeah, but he's just a tight end. It's all he could really do for me. He loves me though. I'll accept this ring.
I was underwhelmed by it, if I'm being honest.
It's so big.
I know the Rock's big, but I like a little glitz.
Yeah, but look, Ronaldo changed the game in terms of rings. Like, he proposed with a Super Bowl ring not too long ago.
Yeah, to me, the Ronaldo one much better.
Are these the same hands?
No,
they're different
Same
rings.
On the left is Taylor Swift. On the right is Ronaldo's.
I understand why you look.
Oh.
Why you ask that though? They look identical.
One is yours, one is L.
Okay. All right. No, I like this. This is classy. That's what it is. They're classy. That's why they did it at a Chili's as opposed to the Taj Mahal.
Okay, so you guys are unimpressed, but you don't know anything about. I don't either, by the way. I don't know anything about diamonds. The one Ronaldo got is giant, but that seems like I understand that the worth of it is something that people would want, but it looks ridiculous. It looks like one of those championship rings that David Sampson wears that is bigger than 3/4 of his finger.
I got to tell you, what's the old adage? It needs to be 2 months worth of salary.
What?
The engagement ring.
So expensive.
I think that Travis went on the cheap here.
That's what I'm saying. And then people are questioning her, whoever's in her life, her circle, Selena Gomez, whatever. And Selena is also engaged, I believe. So now they're comparing rings. And you're not going to be done up by Benny Blanco, Dan. Come on.
He's on his bachelor trip.
I've heard.
He went to Vegas.
Yeah,
You
I noticed we
guys-
didn't see photos from that, but we saw plenty of photos of Selena on her bachelorette trip. Dan, your thoughts?
You guys are so Miami. Always going for the gaudy, over the top. Make it bigger. Make more diamonds. This is class. This is sophistication. This is a subtle nod to, this is of value, but we're not going over the top. If you know, you know. And that's how Travis has always been, because I've known him for a long time, since way before Taylor Swift.
There's nothing subtle about either of those rings, just to be clear.
Is 2 months indeed the rule? I did not know that as a rule. I was not familiar
Sounds
with
right.
what it sounds right. So you guys just are saying it sounds right. 2 months of salary on a ring.
It was a marketing ploy by the De Beers company that owns 90% of the world's diamond supply. So they're just like 2 months of salary just so they could artificially inflate prices.
Feels like a lot, 2 months.
I mean, is it pre-tax or post-tax 2 months also?
Yeah, we talking gross or net?
Yeah, good questions, Az.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is it gross or net?
Are you thinking back to what yours cost, Dan? Like, did I overpay? Did I underpay?
I'm actually trying to think back to what rule I was trying to figure out because I didn't know how to do it. So I had to ask around to get expertise from people because I didn't have any idea what I was doing. You guys did?
Mike, get me a ring for my wife.
Okay, so you guys knew how to do all of that. You guys, okay, show me experts in romance.
It's usually a conversation you have at some point about, like, what would you be into? What would it kind of look like? And you get ideas.
Can't just leave it up to Travis Kelce to figure out what Taylor Swift is going to like in her ring.
She for sure picked that up.
She definitely told him exactly what she wants.
2 months salary of Travis Kelce is $2.8 million.
Yeah, no, you go.
I'm seeing the national average is between $5,500 and $6,000 on an engagement ring.
Hold on, though, Mike. You're not including the the podcast. Like you're not including endorsements. You're not including Happy Gilmore. You're not including Travis Kelce's salary of 2 months is much. His football salary, it might be small compared to the endorsements.
I think by percentage of income, Travis Kelce went on the cheap here with this ring.
That's what I'm kind of thinking may have happened here.
I think all of our significant others have, by percentage, more impressive rings.
Congratulations.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju at Le Batard Show. I can't believe we're saying this. Did Travis Kelce go cheap on the ring? It's unbelievable that you guys are doing this.
I've also heard that like super rich like rings, like those 2 rings probably, right? I think they then make like replicas of them. And like that ring is probably hardly ever going to be worn. That's going to be like in a vault somewhere.
Well, what's the point?
And then you wear one with a fake diamond that's identical in size, and that way, if you get mugged or whatever, you lose it while you're scuba diving or whatever happened to Kim Kardashian's earring. She's like in the Maldives and it falls off while she jumps off of the thing. Like then you just lose a fake one that's also equally expensive. Well, not equally, but also expensive, but not as expensive because it's a fake diamond.
I mean, she definitely has insurance.
Yeah, that's why you get insurance.
And designers probably foaming at the mouth to be put on that paw.
Oh, yeah.
So they probably got a deal on that ring. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I bet you he spent like maybe $7,000. Right.
Maybe.
I bet you he got paid to do it.
I'll do an Instagram post for you.
How nervous do you think friends are? Like, if you're a friend with Travis Kelce, but you're not like you're not a best friend, but you're close enough to wonder, are you going to make the cut for the wedding? Because you want to be at that wedding. That's a fun wedding.
That's a position I'm in right now. I'm trying to figure out whether I'm going to make the cut or not.
You
feel
will
like
not.
as someone who's, well, I mean, I've been there. I've been loyal. I've been there since before everything. So
Well, call him right now. Let's congratulate him since you're so close with him.
I can't because I use my phone as my camera.
Yeah.
What would you get him as a gift? That's a
wish.
tough wedding gift to get.
Oh, no, the registry. I just go off the registry, man. Don't try to be funny.
Probably have like a yacht on their registry.
Wait, you guys think that that's what they would go with? These 2 people would just go registry?
Yeah, like Crate and Barrel,
No
Target,
way.
Macy's.
I'm just picturing them
that
walking
type
around
thing.
Target.
Yeah,
like,
I could see her walking around with
scanning
like
things.
Exactly.
Deal.
Yeah. You think Rashee Rice is going to go to the wedding, Zaz?
Well, are you asking me if he's going to go or be invited?
Invited.
I'm going no.
Really?
He might be suspended for it.
Xavier Worthy?
No.
Oof.
So wait, you guys are saying that he can't invite all his Chiefs teammates. He has to have the awkwardness of, okay, 6 of you can come?
Yeah.
No, it's probably like a dozen or so. But.
Spags.
Really? You guys
It's not even his coordinator.
That's what I'm saying.
Dan, if it comes down to Isaiah Pacheco or me, I mean, there's hard decisions. Have to be made.
But so you guys explain to me the awkwardness in the locker room when Travis Kelce stops at 9.
Yeah, like that's a good one. Guys, there are guys in that locker room like, man, I hope I get to go. That's going to be a fun wedding. But nope, you didn't make the cut. That's going to happen.
You think, though?
You think Butker makes it?
I think
they're friends, I think.
I think Areza's not going to be at that wedding.
Taylor Swift probably doesn't like him so much. I don't know about that.
Harrison's probably an interesting conversation between them 2.
I think that you could hide him in the invites, right? Like, I don't think Taylor's going to notice if Harrison is there. Maybe when he, tells all the women, get off the dance floor. It's time for the men to dance. But
Taylor's got to have some right-leaning family members.
Is that what you have happening?
I don't have happening.
So wait a minute.
Now this is going to be a thing. I just was a joke. Now this is going to be a thing.
Consequences.
I want to be clear.
He doesn't like being married to his takes.
I want to be
just like to josh around, And all of a sudden.
but okay. So
Noah Gray, you think he'll be there? Same position.
Position room.
Same
I think all the tight ends go.
Everybody
All right,
in that room.
We have
Every
moved
single
on.
one.
Creed Humphrey.
Every single person in that room.
Starting lineman, I think, can go.
Well, Creed Humphrey's a center.
How about former teammates?
That's a great question.
Like
Don't
Tony
go back to the other stuff.
Tony Gonzalez. Tyreek? No.
No
Tyreek's
Tyreek.
not getting
No Tyreek.
No, probably not Tyreek.
You think Nick Wright tries to see where he fits in?
He's my +1.
Nick might go. He might. Invited or not, he'll be there.
Do you think this is going to be the biggest wedding of our lifetimes?
It's our royal wedding,
I think
obviously.
so.
What was our previous royal wedding?
What is second place on
was
celebrity
it Kim
couples?
and Chris Humphries?
I'm still.
We don't need to go back to anything that's happened in the past. We're moving along.
You know which one I'm excited for if it happens? Adele and Rich Paul.
Huh.
That already happened.
Did it?
They're married.
Oh.
Huh?
I mean, you get invited?
So you weren't that interested.
Come on, man. Where you at?
Wow. When did that happen?
Clearly not that interested. Clearly and obviously, you can't wait for that to happen, but you did wait. You didn't even notice. You don't care.
Kudos to them. They kept that one pretty secret.
Not really.
I got to hear that they're just engaged.
Did LeBron give a speech?
She was engaged in a concert August 2024.
They're not married, Amin.
Yeah, I don't see this.
Unless Amin
Oh, that's a
knows that they're
fine.
secretly married and just blew up the spot.
like Greg Cody.
Because he's in league circles.
So, Billy, just to be clear.
I don't know what we need to be clear about. We're talking about Adele and Rich Paul right now. Keep up, Dan. Smooth fast.
You've got Travis Kelce going into the locker room, and everyone wants to go, and he has to say in private, in front of everybody, only 8 of you are going to be invited.
Usually when you give these kind of speeches, it's like, guys, budget. We just don't have room. Like, what's he going to say?
But he's going to be able to say, like, I saved a bunch of money on that ring. Amin, the internet is saying they're not married. So either you screwed up or you were wrong. You need to clarify.
Those are the same thing.
No.
If I won't?
He might have screwed up and revealed something that is known inside NBA league circles that the rest of the people don't, because any internet would not corroborate this story.
He's not a journalist, though. Amin doesn't, right? Amin does not. Zaslow's the only journalist we have around here, right?
Amin broke a giant, FBI story, a couple weeks. I think you might have been gone when he did that. He broke that story about the Heat heist across the street.
Yeah, I did do that.
He's also been on Pablo Torre Finds Out, and the Malik Beasley story has had some developments that I was wanting your expertise on. But if we could just go back to the wedding for a second.
Are Adele and Rich Paul married, or did you just get that wrong?
So this is what I have Travis Kelce doing, is standing up in front of the middle locker room and saying to everybody, look, only 8 guys can go. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, did I make it? Did I not make it? But this is a football team. We're a meritocracy. So what we're going to do is have a competition for it. And then the cameras come out, and it's on the Amazon Prime show, and who gets to be in Travis Kelce's wedding. And then we have week by week, and people vote until we have a final ceremony, and he's handing out, what are those things called, what they button onto the thing that the groomsmen wear? One of those things. And if you get one of those, you get to go to the wedding.
How mad is Clutch Sports going to be when they find out you revealed that Rich Paul's married?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
LeBron did post mysterious photos from what appeared to be a wedding.
With Kevin Love.
And he was there with Kevin Love, and they were golfing, but he never said whose wedding it was. I'm like, wow, did Rich Paul and Adele secretly get married? And I just kept on living my life, and now it seems as though Amin found out.
Did not. That's Pablo's show. He finds out. By the way, I recorded an episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out that comes out, I believe, in about a week and a half.
Spoil it. What'd you say?
It's a beast.
It's about Adele being married to Rich Paul.
It is. It's gonna be a massive. It's one of those things where how everyone was like, "Oh my God, Pablo did it again!" When the NFL thing and the Beasley thing.
No, this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one.
The biggest one. This is the biggest one by far. This is way bigger than Bill Belichick. Everything.
Is this the September 4th one he keeps teasing?
Yeah, he's got a giant one in the holster. He just went on vacation. Pablo's doing this so casually that he's going to drop a Pablo at the top of September that's going to be bigger than all the other Pablos by a good amount.
I like saying drop a Pablo is an interesting way to phrase it.
We're also raising the bar on expectations here because,
Yeah,
the
is it-
scuttlebutt out there is that Pablo's revealing the Epstein list. That's what people think
No,
is going to happen.
I
don't think. Unless Amin has a reason to be on that episode, I don't think that's what's going to happen on Amin's episode.
Pablo might have friends on the list. Who knows? A lot of innocent people.
It's also a bad place where that's the bar for Pablo now. It's like, oh, you don't have the Epstein list, loser.
What are you here for?
Weekend observations, which we're going to begin right now. But I did want something Malik Beasley related from him before we did that. But we got to get to weekend observations. So no time
It is
for
time
it.
for to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy.
Weekend observations is presented by Miller Lite. Dan, it started with a concert, followed by a podcast mention, followed by a 2-year courtship, culminating with the news of the summer, And just like that, make no mistake, Travis Kelce is off the market. Congrats, Travis and Tay-Tay. I hope as you make your wedding invitation list, you remember the people in your life from before the celebrity. Those who were there for you before you were in People magazine. I'm talking, of course, of myself. I went to that New Heights Super Bowl party before it was cool. Everybody else flocked after Taylor entered the picture. I was there before. Never forget. Arch Manning saying the target's not on our back. We have a red dot on everyone else's. Winner. Deion Sanders says he's praying for Shiloh to get another shot after getting waived. What he should be praying for is Georgia Tech forfeiting this weekend. I'll be there.
Really?
Brian? Yeah, I'll be there. I'm leaving on Thursday. Brian Windhurst writing a piece about LeBron and KD's unprecedented 20-year rivalry. Only made me think, who's going to hate this being called a rivalry more? LeBron or KD? My money's on KD. He hates everything. Caden Salter will start at QB for Colorado. Can't believe he's black. Haynes King will start at QB for Georgia Tech. Still can't believe he's not black. I mean,
that is an upset. That is an upset.
If you put their pictures side by side and I ask you which one was which, you'd call the white guy Caden and you'd call the black guy Haynes.
Yeah, it's you are correct.
Danny Parkins of FS1 interviewing Jeff Van Gundy for his book. Then wrapping the interview by asking him to write the foreword. Danny, the Stugotz is very strong in you. Him and his co-author Ben Kaplan are on Basketball Illuminati this week, wherever you get podcasts. They wrote this book, Pipeline to the Pros. It's really good. Spencer Rattler, starting at QB week 1 for the Saints over Tyler Shuck.
Man.
Who cares?
Oh, my God.
Who cares?
Say that again to people like that. How I am so sorry, New Orleans Saints fans. Like I am just, you're in salary cap hell, and Spencer Rattler just won your quarterback competition. Good God.
Also, Tyler Shuck. Spell your name right or pronounce it right. One of the two.
How does he spell it?
I shouldn't have to. He spells it Shough, but I have to Google how you say it. You say it Shuck. I was like, is it Shuff or Show? And they're like, Shuck. And I'm like, no. Georgia Tech safety LaMiles Brooks Powell Lee.
What do you say?
Saying about Colorado. Quote, I know they bring out celebrities. They do all this crazy stuff, but we're playing football. Winner.
Really?
But also, Georgia Tech is bringing out some celebrities of their own, man. Me.
Oh, come on.
I'm the celebrities.
Are you the biggest celebrity? Are you the biggest celebrity fan that Georgia Tech football has?
I'm the biggest non-athlete celebrity fan that Georgia Tech has. They have obviously guys like Megatron and stuff like that. They don't count. I'm the real celebrity. I have to make myself. I didn't do it by just playing a sport. Get out of here.
Jeff Foxworthy.
He didn't go to Tech, man. I don't believe it.
What do you mean? You can't just what?
I don't believe it. Show me your transcripts. What do you do when you?
Why are you doing that to Jeff Foxworthy? Like, what?
I don't
show me your transcripts, Jeff Foxworthy.
It's a hard school, man. You ain't get through it with. You might be a redneck. That's not getting the job done.
All right, put it on the poll. Is you might be a redneck getting the job done at Georgia Tech?
No shot. If he did, he went to like the School of Management or something like that.
Graduated 1979.
Ooh. That wasn't even. It wasn't even an institute back then. It was called like something, Cumberland College or something like that. I don't know.
Wow, didn't realize we were gatekeeping at Georgia Tech.
We are always. I had to do. If he didn't have to do CS 1501, he didn't go to Tech. How about that?
Oh wait, he never graduated. I see that here. He left before graduating in 1979.
There you go.
Well, wait a minute. That changes the discussion entirely. Then does Amin go right back to being the most famous graduate non-athlete division at Georgia Tech?
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter didn't go. He got like a graduate degree. That doesn't count. Peanut farmer. Again, if you didn't take CS 1501, don't talk to me about going to Tech. 1972, 1980, 52. CS 1501. The Widowmakers, what they call that. Get out of here.
These fools think it's easy as an engineering school to get an institute. 1970. When did Georgia Tech become an institute that was famous for we bring some of the best engineers through here? Through the Widowmaker? Tell me more about this class.
Okay, so Dan, at regular engineering schools in the country, they're like, okay, you need to learn how to program. You need to code. So what do we do? C++, Java, whatever the language was at the time, right? Python now or whatever. At Georgia Tech, they were like, that's too easy. We're going to invent our own coding language. So that way people can't cheat. But then you say, well, what if they cheat off of one another? Well, they had this thing way before there were AI checkers and shit like that. They had a program that ran your code against everyone else's code, not only in your section, not only in your class, but everyone who's taken the class in the prior 3 years. And if it hit a similarity score of above a certain percentage, you automatically got an F. Now, here's the part that is really cruel. They wouldn't tell you. They would let you go the entire semester like a dumbass, thinking, oh, I'm getting good grades and stuff. And at the end of it, you get your semester end grade, and it would be an F. You're like, what happened? Like, oh, yeah, you failed the cheat finder. That's the Georgia Tech I went to, not peanut farming, and you might be a redneck.
Highly educated, but still not smart enough to not blow up a Dell Spot.
You're in trouble, dog.
Jimmy Carter spent 1 year at Georgia Tech before transferring to the Naval Academy.
Exactly.
He was like a Navy Reserves at Georgia. A coward.
I went to MDC.
Coward.
I enjoyed that.
That's, you know what? It's easier than Georgia Tech.
Oh, boy.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is the Navy easier than Georgia Tech?
Amin, you went to school with Harrison Butker.
Did you go to Georgia Tech?
That's what the internet says, but they've been wrong about everyone else so far.
He didn't take CS 1501.
I mean, the internet told us earlier that Rich Paul and Adele weren't married. Yeah.
But to be fair, there are also not a whole lot of women at Georgia Tech, so maybe Harrison Butker did go there.
I mean, are you trying to tell me you're more famous than Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns is an athlete. He's an athlete. He played on the football team. He doesn't count. Keep up, Zaslow.
Man, Amin's kicking ass. Bigger star, Freddie Fitz or Jonathan Zaslow at Le Batard Show?
What do you do when you think someone has blocked you, but you never had a negative interaction with them? I'd love to text them to ask, but I'm blocked. The Holy Grail MJ Kobe card sold for $12.9 million. No word yet as to whether it also came out of a storage closet at Kaseya Center. I broke that story where you gone, Dan.
Really?
Yeah, a guy stole a whole bunch of memorabilia, sold it for a ton of money. Speaking of a ton of money, Chris Cody won a ton of money playing poker.
Debatable.
Chris, I was unfamiliar with your game. Also, Chris, let me hold $1. Let's see.
12 grand.
He goes, oh, let's see here.
Well, 12 grand.
Yeah,
Let me
because
fill
it closed on me.
Yeah, 12 grand.
Tyler Phillips of the Marlins, slapping himself as he runs out of the bullpen. Electric. Mike Ryan and Jessica Smetana telling me Avery Johnson was white, when in fact he is not. I'm sending you both to the Jonathan Coachman Hall of Shame.
Wow.
Anthony Johnson, brother of Avery Johnson, losing a fistfight to Mark Johnson, father of Avery Johnson, by Zazzle Mansion rules. Got to wait another 6 months.
Everyone knows the rules.
Yep. Cal Raleigh, first player to hit 20 home runs from each side of the plate. Historic. Cal Raleigh, first primary catcher to hit 50 home runs in a season. Iconic. Cal Raleigh, on pace to break Aaron Judge's single-season AL home run record. Legendary. Cal Raleigh, still could put you out of a lineup.
Oh.
Even if you're wearing a sticker that said, hi, my name is Cal.
Not even by body type?
The big dumper. Medvedev crashing out at U.S. Open. Down 2-0 versus Benjamin Bonzi. Then inciting the crowd. Then tying the matchup. Heady play. Medvedev losing the match to Benjamin Bonzi in 5 sets. What a waste of everyone's time. Just tap out, man. What do we do all that for? Top 5 Bonzis.
Really? You're going to have 5 of these? 5 Bonzis.
I got a couple OLIs too.
Really?
OLI, Benjamin Bonzi. OLI, Bonzi Wells. OLI, Buckaroo Bonzi. Number 5, Bonzi Beach. Number 4, Bonanzi. Number 3, slanging Muni Bonzi in Boca.
Bonzi's is a degree of difficulty I did not think you had in you.
Number 2, Bonzi, James Bonzi. And number 1, Cinnabonzi. Who could say no? You smell it in the mall, and what do, Dan? You go over, you're like, I got to get just one. Shedeur Sanders, named QB3 to start the season. Let me lay out how this will play out. The Browns will suck. Flacco will get hurt early. Dylan Gabriel will get his shot too soon. Suck as a result. Shedeur will take over. He'll play well enough to give the city of Cleveland hope, but not well enough to stop the Browns from sucking. Y'all deserve this hell. Speaking of hell, Art Briles, those are the weekend observations.
Good seeing you, buddy. Excellent work. We'll talk to you next week.
The Shadow on Cinephobe this week.
We are teaming up with Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. Play Powerball, Mega Millions, even scratch-offs, all with just a couple taps. New customers get $5 in lottery credits when you download the app, opt in, and use code SUPERFAN at sign-up.
We will get back to the silly stuff in a few minutes, but I did want the listeners of this show to get at least a little bit of information because we're so fractured about how it is we consume things these days. Everyone has their own form of media. And in and among Hispanic communities, the way that folks are getting their news these days more than ever is TikTok. It's not Telemundo. It's a lot of Hispanics in this country are getting it through TikTok. And if you don't know what's happening in this country, immigrants, exiles, Latinos are scared, I think. And so Carlos Eduardo Espina is a TikTok journalist, I'm going to call it. Thank you for joining us, Carlos. If you want information on what it is that we're going to be talking about, you can follow him across all social media platforms and at Carlos_Eduardo Espina. So thank you for joining us. And just tell us how it is you're getting your news to people because you're a bit of a new kind of journalist.
Yeah, no, well, thank you for having me. I mean, this is something that started 5 years ago during the pandemic. It almost started as, just an accident. I was bored at home, started making videos about citizenship classes, and it just blew up during that big boom that there was on social media in early 2020. And since then, I've been making 10 up to 15 or 20 videos a day, just, constant news and opinions on everything that's going on. And how do I stay informed? I'm always reading, different news sites. I'm always on different platforms. A lot of also community journalism. People will just send me videos of what's going on the ground and I'll react to it, respond to it. So just a bunch of different ways of getting information out there. But now with social media, everything is so fast paced. You always have to be, on the lookout for what's next, what's happening, and put it out in front of the audience as soon as possible.
So tell us what's the information you're getting on the ground that is real, that is factual about ICE raids in this country that I think most rational human beings watching these ICE raids can know that this isn't what America is supposed to look like.
Yeah, so very early on, during when Trump just assumed office, there was a lot of people who were hopeful. They were like, hey, they're only going to go after the worst of the worst criminals and, the people who have committed horrible crimes, which I think everyone agrees with, right? No one wants people who have committed horrible crimes in the country. But then the video started coming out of, hey, I was at this gas station and they just picked up a bunch of guys who were looking out for work outside of outside of Home Depot or all these other places. And a lot of these videos have only come to light because there's just someone, at the right place at the right time, or maybe at the wrong place at the wrong time, just pulling out their phone and recording it, putting it on social media, sending it to bigger accounts like myself so we can amplify it. And you really do see a lot of the unfiltered. I mean, some of the videos I can't even show on my platforms just because they're so strong that, with censorship and with community guidelines and all that. But I think that community journalism, just very on the ground, is really what has moved, a lot of people's minds.
What can't you show? What do you feel people are not hearing or understanding about what's going on with these raids if they're only consuming traditional news?
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's very sanitized what ends up like on actual news. For example, if you have an instance of an agent beating up someone or, using language that's not appropriate for social media, you can't really show that, so you have to censor, you have to kind of explain around it. But there are other platforms. For example, I found, so I started on TikTok, but I found that YouTube is also, a lot more, basically you can post a lot more without censorship. So over the past few months, I've grown a lot on YouTube as well, but it's really just trying to get that raw video out there, and then people can form their own opinions. They can see with their own eyes what's going on. And like you said, I think most people come to the same conclusion that while immigration enforcement is necessary, the way it's being done right now is just completely out of hand and not okay.
Can you talk about the impact of the fear and the chaos going on in these communities caused by these raids?
Yeah, so I think, what many people didn't expect, especially Latinos who voted for Donald Trump, is they didn't realize, or maybe they did, they just didn't think it would impact them, that the Latino community is just so, lean so much on each other that, we have our own restaurants, our own places to go party, our own, everything, our own businesses. And so when the ICE raids really started picking up, a lot of Latino businesses took a huge hit because people weren't going out as much. They're not eating out. They're not, basically doing the day-to-day stuff that they usually did. And so a lot of business owners are now, debating whether to shut down. Some people have already had to shut down. And a lot of times it's people, who supported Donald Trump because they thought the economy would get better under him. But the economy, at least within the Latino community, is not getting much better. And many of these small businesses particularly are being hit very, very hard.
Can you explain what someone's rights are, immigrant, bystander, anyone's rights if they're caught up in an ICE raid?
Well, so that's the thing is, right, a lot of preparation for all this that was going to happen is, hey, we have these rights that must be respected. You have the right to ask for an attorney, ask for a warrant, you can record stuff. But we've seen, and I think this has really caught the attention of many people, agents who maybe are poorly trained or just don't care, who are just violating people's rights, blatantly. And they're being caught on camera. And you have organizations like the ACLU. I mean, when you see those instances of people's windows being smashed, you would tell someone, hey, you have the right to stay in there until they show you a warrant. You can call your attorney, but that's not really being followed. So I think right now we're in uncharted territory almost. I mean, we've seen people be arrested for recording law enforcement, which once again is not illegal. You can, if I see Border Patrol, doing a raid somewhere I'm at, I can pull out my phone and record, but even that's being, attacked. So it's very hard to tell people what's permissible now, because we have what the Constitution says, what the law says, and then what's actually going on. And unfortunately, they're two different things.
Carlos, do you ever look back, because obviously you're doing a very important work, do you ever look back to 2020 when you were bored on TikTok before you do your first video and you're sitting there and you're like, I could do a dance, I could cook, or I could talk about immigration? And then you decided, you know what, this is the route I'm going to go. You ever look back and think, what if I did cooking or dancing or anything like that?
Yeah, so that's exactly the reason why I didn't go on TikTok until that late on, because it was already, TikTok started blowing up, in 2019. But I remember my friends would send me TikTok videos. I'm like, this is like the dumbest app ever. I thought it was like, for like it was when Charlie D'Amelio was blowing up and all that. And I was like, I don't really care about this. But when the pandemic came, so before the pandemic, I used to volunteer every weekend teaching citizenship classes in person. I would be like 10, 15 people show up to my classes, but then we couldn't get together in person anymore. So that's kind of where the idea came. I was like, hey, maybe I should start doing stuff on social media. I started on Facebook, but people were like, hey, you should try TikTok. And I was like super anti-TikTok. I was like, you know what? I'm going to cave. I'm going to do one video on TikTok. And my first video just blew up. And I was like, wow, this is actually a very powerful platform. And I realized, that on social media, it's not so much the platform. It's, if there's content out there that you don't like, you can create your own content and there'll be people that like it as well. So that's how I found my niche, and it went very well.
Chris Cody says that's what pays the bills.
He's like, I was anti-TikTok. Now he's like, let's go
Yeah.
TikTok.
You found your niche, but what if you would have gone quiche? You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it's just it was really interesting the growth because TikTok was just so revolutionary in that sense where a lot of people like myself, we were very like against it, but we realized the issue is not the platform itself. It's just that when it was so new, the content that was on there just wasn't that diverse, and now you have like all types. You have attorneys are on TikTok, you have journalists are on TikTok. I mean, there's all kinds of content, and it's such a great platform now.
But what if you were like the immigration rights dancer, and you were doing dancing videos while giving the information?
People have proposed. I mean, they've told me like, hey, you should open up, some other platforms as well. And I don't give into that, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. People, there's like, I don't know if you've seen, there's an attorney. He's like, he shows up with like all this jewelry and all these rings, and he's got his own style. So I think that's the cool thing about like TikTok. It's a lot of people who weren't content creators, who never try to be content creators, become one, and then just kind of find their own, I guess, area on the platform.
But how does this work? The news cycle doesn't stop. Raids are continuing around the clock. You are taking a break in the middle of this because I imagine that, yes, it's business, but you're also doing work, I don't know, to protect Hispanics?
Yeah, so it's like it's almost like, social media is really interesting where it's not like a traditional job where you have a set schedule. It's mostly like in between things, I'll be at different events or at meetings, but I'll be checking my phone constantly, or even be out with my family and I'm like, hey, I need to check my phone real quick in case something happened. And there's been many occasions where I'm like, let's say for example, at a dinner, I'm like, hey, I have to step outside real quick to make a video. So it's not like I have a set schedule. It's most like, sometimes things just happen. I mean, one very big example of this was I was on the way to Miami for the Copa America final last year. And right as I was about to board my flight, that's when they did the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And I was like, wait, I can't miss this. So I had to cancel my flight, rebook it. And I was like inside the airport making all these videos. I made like, minute to minute coverage on what was going on. But I guess that's just part of the job. It is what it is.
He is the Adam Schefter of how do you pass the U.S. citizenship test. It is a strange way to go viral. It's not the way that most people do it. I do wonder, though, where do you believe most of the misinformation, confusion about what's going on is coming from? Because I don't think most reasonable people, if I present them with some of your videos of like, look, do you think your landscaper friend should be treated like this? I think most Americans would be appalled.
Yeah. So I think, one thing I've learned over the years is most people who are, in support of what's going on right now are not bad people. I think they just grew up in different environments and get different sources of information that maybe they haven't been exposed to what's really going on. And I mean that is in the sense of, I grew up in College Station, Texas. It's pretty conservative. I have a lot of friends who voted for Donald Trump. And over the past few months, like we'll be playing soccer or whatever, they'll come up to me and be like, hey, I didn't really know like this is the extent of what was going on. I thought like they genuinely thought they were going to go after like the worst of the worst criminals, what's being shown on Fox News, what Donald Trump is saying in his speeches. And when you start to realize like, hey, it's actually like my friends, my coworkers, people I know. And that's why I think the work that I do and many others are doing is just so important, because I think this country is fundamentally made up of very good people who a lot of times just don't have, the full information. And there are people who genuinely think, these raids are targeting the worst of the worst, which in some cases is true, but in the majority is not. That's one aspect. And the other aspect too is like social media has gotten completely out of hand. And I say that as a content creator. I mean, you said in the beginning, like, most people, especially Latinos, are getting their information on social media. I guess that's good for me, but I think as a society, it's not very good. And the reason why is there's just so much misinformation. And now with artificial intelligence, it's gotten completely out of hand. I mean, people use my image, for example. They'll make like this wild video of, oh, good news. If you pay this guy $500, he'll get you a work permit in an hour. And everyone's like, wow, Carlos is saying it, so it must be true. And I'm like, that's not me. It's artificial intelligence. But especially when you have older people who maybe didn't grow up in that environment, they can't tell. And it just, there's so many layers to, the misinformation, disinformation, just fake news, artificial intelligence, all that. I think it is very dangerous to have a society that relies solely on social media for their information, and I say that as someone who has, in many ways, benefited from this landscape.
But therein lies the problem. You say that a lack of information is the biggest issue here, but you're not even getting true information from the administration themselves. It's been reported that up to 71% of the arrests that ICE have made are people with zero criminal background. And when pressed on this, the administration says that's not the case. So how do people actually get access to information when we're in a post-truth world?
Yeah, well, that's the question I struggle with the most because, on social media, there's just so much information that you can be very selective. And, for example, my algorithm is very, slanted into one way. I'm sure other people's are slanted in other ways. And I guess the question becomes is how can we, step away from social media as much as possible and actually have genuine face-to-face conversations? And I think that's where the real difference is made, because what social media has created is almost these echo chambers where, people are being fed the same stuff over and over again. And if you're fed 100 videos of Donald Trump saying, oh, we've only gotten all criminals and there's no hardworking good people in the raids, well, then you start to believe that. And so I think, how do you break that structure? It just takes, meeting people where they're at, trying to as best as possible. And a lot of times face-to-face interaction is the only way you can really break through, because otherwise it just becomes an impossible task.
Carlos, thank you for being on with us.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I know that's a very gloomy answer, very dystopian answer, but I am really worried for the future, not of just of our country, society in general, with everything going on social media, technology, AI, and all that. So we'll see how things end up.
You're worried, are you? You're worried.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, look at you. You're on the middle of a sports show, and look at what we're talking about. Why would you be worried about that?
No, that's what sports are for, right? I love to play. I play soccer every weekend, every day almost, to distract myself from what's going on, at least from an hour or two. So keep up the good work. That's always important.
You too. Thank you for being on with us. You can follow him across all social media platforms at Carlos_Eduardo_Espina. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good day.
You too. I am seeing all over my televisions in here, Lee Corso. Are we going to actually do this correctly this weekend? We're going to have a giant Game 1 football weekend.
Haven't we? We did it. We got here. How did they screw it up? Did they kick him in the ass on the way out?
I'm just saying that Lee Corso being the big story, we're going to allow someone to age with grace. As we ran one president out of office for getting old, and the other one dies in front of us, hiding his ankles from us, and is also senile. We're going to let Lee Corso on television get old gracefully and send him off correctly.
Did you just make a prediction?
That'd be in the Suey's next year.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's ask Amin.
Got to be worried about the whole. Let me not say it. Never mind.
Why'd you
on with your show?
Seriously, why'd you make it about that? But that felt gratuitous.
No, because
this is about Lee Corso.
You got multiple 80-year-olds wandering around out there. We're questioning the mental health of 80-year-olds. People are comfortable mocking the old. Dick Vitale has been a polarizing figure for the.
We're celebrating Lee. We're celebrating.
You keep doing that. We did that. 10 years ago, people were having their go at Lee, and he had to admit. I think over the last few years, it's actually been a beautiful thing. People understand what they're seeing on television. Yeah. Everybody knows that Lee Corso has been battling through stuff. Everyone sees the beauty in that friendship that is on that set.
Well, and they haven't forced it, right? Because he hasn't been on every single week.
He'll do
for
like a couple.
long time.
He'll do like a couple. No, he's there most weeks, but he'll do like a segment or two.
They've been sunsetting him over the course of a few years on that show. Yeah. Has it had its hiccups because he's had his challenges? Yes, I think the internet, which is generally a cruel place, has been kind of understanding when it comes to this one, to the point that we're going to have this beautiful moment. He's probably going to have some struggles in that broadcast because he's had struggles in almost every broadcast over the last few years. And I think people will be understanding, appreciative, grateful, and loving.
It's just nice to see is all I'm saying.
I wonder how they're going to do it because normally, they end the show with him making the pick, right?
Which they will.
Yeah, they will.
I think that'll be.
They're
going
to go about it as if everything is normal. I don't know.
Herbie is going to be a puddle of emotion.
They'll bring Fowler out at some point. Old friends,
Goosies. Yeah. It's going to be incredible.
You can't put on the Longhorn helmet though in front of the Ohio State. Like, they're going to boo him? They're
That'd
going to boo him.
That'd be great. One last rib on the way out. He gets booed.
Because everyone, he did Brutus first, right? So everyone is just assuming he's going to go Ohio State.
I love that.
I would zag. I'm with you.
Zach?
I would zag.
Yeah, zag.
Stugotz?
Zigging? All right.
I thought you said you were with Zag. I got confused for a moment there.
Yeah, we all did.
Everyone's expecting something. I would zag.
I mean, I was called Stugotz earlier.
Steve Martin, also a prop comment.
Huh. Yeah, guys, Betty White's situation's not going to happen. We're 3 days away. We're good.
I hope so. Wow, Jesus.
That's a prediction.
Whoa.
I'm saying it's not. I'm putting it out there because you guys are all throwing out there, and I'm saying that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think anybody threw
That's
that.
all I'm saying. Just like Dan was only saying that it's beautiful what we're doing. That's all I'm saying.
I concur. That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I hope not.
I'm not going down this glib path.
I don't know why you even said that.
But I don't think it changes the program.
I
much.
don't. Well,
It's
it
going
would
to
drastically
be
change.
It's
the program.
No, it's going to be a celebration of his life, and the only thing I'd be missing. Well, I'm not doing that.
A celebration of his
that's,
life.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't happen.
They would get more viewers.
I don't think so.
Let's not do that.
No,
we're not.
How are the ratings going to be? Are you guys actually interested in this? Because many people object to all the ratings talk out here, but I'm interested in what the competition between these two shows becomes.
I don't give a flying rat's ass about the competition between the two shows. I will see social clips of Big Noon. I don't care about the ratings. I hope it does a great number just because that's great for that show and Lee Corso. I only care about saying goodbye to one of television's greatest morning heroes.
What if Lee zacks and next week 2 he's on Big Noon? And this is all put on the whole time. Then he goes to Big Noon.
His
the following
contract
week.
actually just expired, and he just goes to Big Noon.
Big heel turn.
The real question is, did they offer it? Obviously, he'd say no. But did Fox reach out of like, hey, week 2, you're with us?
It'd be cool.
That would be a move.
You remember when Ravishing Rick Rude showed up on Nitro and Raw in the same week?
Same night.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
Corso has the type of swagger about him, and that he could just walk onto that Fox
just
set
wanders to the wrong
and
set.
get a
Who
tribute
knows?
from him. Look,
They're both in
Wanders
Columbus.
to the wrong set.
No, not wanders. Like with intention. All right, with intention, he just goes over to Fox, and he's like, "A lot of you guys, Rinaldi, Felica, you all used to be here. You know what?
He might get all right.
You know what Rinaldi needs to do? What Rinaldi needs to do for Big Noon is Big Noon needs to also pay tribute to Lee Corso.
Yes.
Because there is no Big Noon without College Game Day. We all know this.
They should send people over at whatever it is, 11:45. Hey, you come back next week, but you go pay respect to Lee Corso.
Yeah, everybody. Rob Stone, like it should be simulcast.
Yes.
The final headgear should be simulcast.
We will be silent for the next 12 minutes. Then they all sit there.
That's what Portnoy's going to go do. Yeah.
The
Reverence
respect,
for Lee
though.
Corso.
The
You're
respect.
right. They should. They should.
We will
do
now
that.
be silent, and then they all
That's
just sit there in
Yes.
silence.
And Urban Meyer just stares straight ahead with a guy in a bong in a mirror smoking something as he talks or doesn't talk. Dirty Urban.
I still revisit that video where he's telling that dude to get out of the way on the boat. What's going on there?
It's the Urban Meyer catastrophe. The Urban Meyer catastrophe in the pros.
The guy in the mirror seems to be having a great time.
But wait a minute. For everyone to know how that was going to fail, and then for that to fail, with pictures at a bar in Ohio State, with a guy in a mirror smoking a bong on a yacht while he does an interview,
It's just like what you have to be as a head coach, and what we knew about him in front of the press conference backdrop was Urban Meyer is a certain way. He gets success. He's kind of like the dictator ruler of this program.
And he had health issues. He had to step down because of just the health issues.
In the end, dude loved to party.
I'm sure he'll stop on Saturday to honor Lee Corso. And
We will now be silent for 12 minutes.
They should say, look, we're going to make our predictions here. We understand we're trying to build something here at Big Noon. Yeah. But head on over to ESPN.
It's a great idea.
I would be more likely to tune back in next week to Fox if they did that.
I would say classy from you, Fox.
I would give them a standing ovation
Classy
in my
from you.
living room. Wow.
Now, I'm not watching the show regardless, but if I saw that clip, I'd be like, okay.
Good on you.
Incentivized.
Good on you guys. That's what I'd say.
And the way that you guys watch television these days, as we go into one of these dirty weekends to get ready for football.
Stop doing that. It's not a dirty weekend. It's an awesome weekend. First weekend since 1945 we've had this. It's all up. There's such an uptick in vibes right now. This is beautiful. This is not dirty.
You misinterpreted what my dirty meant. When I said one of these dirty weekends, I meant the people who listen to this show will spend a weekend on their couch watching nonstop football.
Not taking a shower.
And not showering. Like
So smelly.
We're headed into Red Zone Sundays, and this is the warm-up. The warm-up is 3 games with top 10 teams, and also Lee Corso kicking it off, leading you to Arch Manning, and that game. And when I asked the question, as everyone gets all excited about college football, the network that has the game is not the one with Lee Corso, correct? So coming out of, so you have to change channels in order to find Lee Corso's moment. And before a game,
To find the game, I'd say they'll probably be on course.
Yeah, wouldn't you assume the automatic move
I'm
Saturday morning is ESPN?
asking you guys. So the changing of a channel is not really something we do now in modern age, where we go to a television at an appointed time.
I think we can handle it.
I think we can handle it too, but what I'm asking you is the game usually dictates whether you get the numbers before the game. That's usually how that works.
I've been conditioned because Fox, with their Big Ten package, always prioritizes that noon window, much to the frustration of the Big Ten fan base. I think more often than not over the last few years, I see the headgear and I switch to the next channel. Or I go to whichever game I'm betting on, which for me is the biggest game of the weekend.
You get the YouTube TV, you get the 4-box.
I think also, like, the big game is never on ESPN after College Game Day. So you're just kind of used to that routine on Saturdays. You're never like, okay, now I'm going to stick to ESPN
you're right,
and
that's
it's
true.
Minnesota. And it's like, this is not the big game.
Yeah, it's
today.
always Saturday night.
Yeah.
You're right.
And are we at a point now, given what network and cable television is, or the way that people watch this, that you're not excluding the poor when you say you've got multiple devices? You're watching. You're addicted to action, and so if you've got a television, you've also got your device working in a way that allows you to watch both things at the same time if you want to.
We're born for this. We've been conditioning for this weekend. You know, in 1945, the last time they had this top 10 matchups to start a season, I'm sure they were flummoxed.
I mean, there's enough games on regular television starting in the afternoon that you don't need to get crazy with the subscription services. There's still enough games.
Well, I don't know. I think YouTube TV has till 5 o'clock today to settle a dispute with Fox.
I was going to say, isn't there something going on as well with the ABC affiliate down here, too?
ABC is Channel 18.
That's
so
weird.
if you want to watch, because it's now owned by the Sunbeam Television locally. This is inside. That owns Channel 7, the Fox affiliate down here. One affiliate owns 2 of the networks.
Just tell me where to go to watch my games.
Channel 18. Just have you'll find it. Just say sports in your remote.
Put it on the poll.
Mike, come change my channel.
It's very easy. And then it'll be like, the Premier League, it's a disaster. Brighton and Hove Albion? Bite me in Cove? What? No, Chelsea FC. No, not Chelsea Handler.
Chris, Cody, what do we have here for the final Suey performance of the day?
We have a new category, I'd say. It's a musical performance category, and I would say the last half dozen years, best musical has just been dominated by the Yetis, the Streeters, the Jeremys, doing these high-produced, well-produced songs. And I want to show some love to the other people, the people that call in the Boost Mobile songs, the Rafe LaFriends, the Doliacs, the
bad songs,
Taylor singing terribly,
the bad songs.
So we're having a new category this year. It's called Worst of the Best Musical Performances.
And now the Suey nominees for Worst of the Best Musical Performance. The best of different listeners singing about Rafe LaFrance and Michael Doliak.
Don't try to take Rafe LaFrance to the hole, 'cause you will not score. You know who that is. That is Rafe LaFrance. Who the F are you?
Jeremy Tachet's unfinished Tony Reale song.
Tony's new YouTube tour.
This is great. When positivity reigns, things are fresh in their light. Tony Reale's full of life. And now he comes to you, might have a guest or two. Tony Reale's full of life. Fresh forever, Tony Freshness. Fresh forever with Tony Fresh and full of life.
Listener from Boldest Take singing about Alexander Madison.
Alexander Madison. My name is Alexander Madison.
David Sampson, All I Need.
All I need is just a little more time to be sure how I feel. Is it just in my mind?
More listeners singing about Rafe LaFrance and Michael Doliak.
He's in the paint, in the paint. Doliak, Doliak, Doliak. I would do anything for love, but I won't Doliak. Oh no, said I won't Doliak.
Listener serenades Sergei Bobrovsky.
Ba 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 Bobrovsky, ba 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 Bobrovsky, ba 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 Bobrovsky. Stop that shot.
Listener sings about Tua Tagovailoa.
And I'm here to remind you of the check down pass that you threw to me. He's got gray hair. He's left-handed with the eye black cross that you wear for me. Tua Tagovailoa.
Taylor Vippolis, Belichick is coming to town.
He sees you when you're practicing. He knows your favorite plays. Your script won't work on the first drive, 'cause he's got it all on tape. Oh, you better watch out. He's getting his guys. You better find out that ball's PSI. Belichick is coming to town.
Even more listeners singing about Rafe LaFrance and Michael Doliak.
Rafe LaFrance played several places. Started out at Kansas, ended up with the Blazers. He was just okay, but they let everyone in. So Hall of Famer one day. Oh, he blocked shots back in people's faces, and he knocked down threes on a regular basis when Rafe LaFrance played in all those places.
Doliak, he's 6 feet from the rim, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet is close enough.
Taylor Vippolis, Fire Mac Brown.
Well, I'd fire Mac Brown. Yeah, I'd fire Mac Brown. Watching this team is my personal hell. Yeah, I'd fire Mac Brown.
I'm not sure that deserved to be a category.
Oh, man.
All the Boost Mobile calls. Got to do something with those.
No, we don't. We could have just never thought of them again. We could have just never thought of them again.
One of the options was upholding a standard.
And then I thought that was on the table. But
Worst
instead,
of the best, guys.
Billy came in here and harumphed something today that made me feel like he soon is going to be an abuelo. He came in here and he said 50 home runs used to mean something.
Oh, that is true. I mean, it wasn't a talk. It was just sometimes it's just a comment. It wasn't for talking on air about. Just 50 home runs did it not used to mean something? 50 home runs?
It did.
Yeah. Cal Raleigh has 50 home runs. Happened 2 days ago. No one here was talking about it. Nope. Used to mean something.
So did baseball.
I mean, just sit down and be like, oh, 50 home runs.
You know what they're doing right now, this Seattle-San Diego. You know what that is, right? You know what it is? It's the Vetter Cup.
Oh.
For Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. They're playing the Vetter Cup. That's right. And Cal Raleigh, he won the Better Man MVP award the other day.
This is Pearl Jam dorking out he's doing. People are so tired of that. It's the only part of Zaslow they don't
Major League
like.
Baseball.
I'll take things that were relevant in 1995.
Well, Mariners and Padres are doing it. Vetter Cup.
To Billy's point, Amin said earlier in the show that Cal Raleigh is on pace to break Judge's AL home run record, and we're just like, meh.
Do you think they're going to break into programming for that? Because I have my doubts. They're not gonna do. They did it for a Yankee, but they're not doing it for a big dumper.
No, I don't think so. And poor Maris's kid is probably like, I'll be there. I'll be there. Like, Roger Jr., not your time anymore, buddy.
So 61 doesn't mean anything anymore?
It didn't mean anything since 1998. Then we tried to pretend to make it a thing. Like, this is the AL home run record. It's like no one gives an AL about that.
ESPN.
Sports, hell.
ESPN. Straight up. If you eat into Memphis, Cincinnati for a Cal Raleigh at bat, I'm gonna kill you.
No.
I'm gonna ESPN. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
A riot would have sufficed.
I'm gonna kill you.
I don't even. What?
I'm gonna kill you, ESPN.
I'm understanding that some people are upset. They're upset at me. I didn't know this until right now. What are you laughing about, Juju? Why, you're laughing at my pain, at my suffering. Yeah, it's unfair. And I know what happened. I felt it when it happened. And I went into the other room and I asked Chris, can we get Diana on for 5 more minutes at the end of the show so people will stop freaking out about they thought I was mean to her? And I did. I could just feel it. Even though Diana's kind of crazy, the insiders are crazy, and she was distracted. And
You're making it better.
It's a weird apology.
I felt like she was super distracted during our segment and her thoughts were racing because her mind was elsewhere. And so I wanted to give her the reprieve of, do you want to stop working over here so you can do what you have to do over there?
I felt the exact same energy from her. It seemed like she was like, oh, I'm here because I like these guys, but I have something I really need to be doing. So I just felt like we were throwing her a bone of like, hey, you don't have to be here.
No, that's right. We were throwing her a bone. And she's a big enough girl to say, yes, I need to step away. And she said, no, I'm fine.
No, but she also fled the shot for 9 minutes because she wasn't fine while I needed to talk to her.
So if we were to have called her back for the 5 minutes, it would be for her to apologize to us?
I don't even know if she's upset. I think she was distracted during
Let's figure that out next week.
Okay, we'll talk to her about it again.
Yeah.
I wanted to actually do football with her. What other complaints did people... I'm sorry, Diana. I will apologize to her on and off air, and also she's a crazy person.
Well, come on, man.
Why is it so distracting? Someone else broke the Adam Thielen story. All right, life moves on.
That's correct. That's how you react to that if you're a normal human being. That is correct.
Yes, sir. Also, Amin El-Hassan was clearly lying. He don't know nothing about a Dale wedding. He's not invited to the Kelce. He just came on here today and spit a whole bunch of lies to us. Salute to my brother.
It did seem like almost total fraudulence, but Mike got sucked in by Amin's credibility on being an insider. Is that what happened? Because Mike believes that Amin knows what no one else knows, which is that Adele was able to keep secret her marriage to Rich Paul.
I think Amin done stepped in it, Juju.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother's ass.
It doesn't seem like you are, though. It seems like you're calling Amin a liar. You're saying that he made something up and then fled the premises with lies.
Yes, sir. Once y'all doubled back and then he just kept the topic on the Kelce's and being invited, I'm like, oh, they got my boy. I know that look on his face. Seen it plenty of time.
Every once in a while, because Juju's got an artist's eye, he likes to find things that are artistic. So I ask you guys this question here. What is this photo of? How would you describe this photo to the audio audience, Juju?
Oh, man, perfection within a tennis racket. It's like Ghostface Killer meets Casper the Friendly Ghost meets Jasmine Paolini, like the photographer Ray, I want to say his name right, Ray Guabilia. Please forgive me, brother.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he took the perfect picture, well-timed, where the tennis racket logo is perfectly placed over her eyes, nose, and mouth, and she looks like she's about to rob somebody. And it always makes me think of my brother Billy Gill, because he says photographers are just lucky guys. They just be... Do you think that was luck, or do you think that was brilliant by Brother Ray?
I mean, I will say this. I did have a lot of people send me that photo. Some said things, some didn't say things. I saw, some people say this shot was 1 in a million. And I said, you know what? I agree with that. It's 1 in the 1 million photos Ray took in that moment, and then went through and said, oh, wow, this lines up perfectly. So great job, Ray. You killed it with the shutter speed. And that one was in there. 1 of the million that you took in that situation.
Juju, this photo reminds me of dead presidents. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And this photo actually inspired me to make a top 10 list of best sports photos ever that I can think of.
Whoa, top 10? A top 10 list of best photos? Okay, let's do this. OLI or just number 10?
Number 10. Dominique Foxworth on the ground watching Michael the Burner Turner sprint for a touchdown.
Great one.
A highly questionable favorite.
Yes, sir. All you see is Foxworth and pay dirt. Number 9, Vince Carter jumps over the brother in the Olympics.
Oh, Frederick Weiss.
Yes, sir. Still, how?
That's all you know about Frederick Weiss.
Oh, yeah, it's all anyone knows about him.
That name is just associated with Vince Carter jumped over
His
you.
family learned about him that day.
Number 8, Kawhi Leonard waiting for the ball to end the Philadelphia 76ers season.
Great one.
Masterpiece.
It's a great list.
Number 7, Billy Gill soaring in the air mid pole vault. Oh,
I'm not even sure that's the best Billy Gill photo we have, unless you have
Lots
Billy
to choose
Gill.
from,
yeah,
yeah.
Billy Gill beating Pablo Torre and Amin El-Hassan in a race.
yes, sir. Number 5. What am I? Number 6. Brandy Chastain celebrates in the only way she knew how.
It's a good list of photos so far.
Yes, sir. Number 5. Allen Iverson steps over Tyronn Lue in the only game they got in that championship.
Yes.
That's very high, Juju. You're putting that high on the list.
Yes, sir. Number 4, Billy Gill beats Pablo and Amin,
There it
looking
is.
like
Yes,
Superman
yes, there it
himself in a
Ahead
foot
of
race.
Iverson.
It's a great photo. It deserves to be ahead of Iverson.
Yep. Number 3, Muhammad Ali standing over Sonny Liston. Got his ass.
That was better than 4.
That's 3? Wow.
Yeah. Number 2, Michael Jeffrey Jordan over Byron Russell for the championship.
So that's the best photo I've ever seen. When I saw ESPN the magazine put it on, it was a giant photo, and it's put on 2 pieces of giant paper, and you can see all the Utah fans are terrified because they know Michael Jordan and the ball's in the air, and 1 or 2 Bulls fans are like celebrating because they know the ball's going to go in.
No, I think it's one Bulls fan. It's like a kid who's in the crowd and he's holding up 6 fingers, right?
It was crazy to see all the fear around him, and the one bit of confidence was the kid in the stands who knew that it was Michael Jordan taking the shot.
Yes, sir. And the number 1 sports photo of all time, Tommy Smith and John Carlos in the Olympic medal stand. Black power, baby.
This is why Juju is wrong. It's only because the umpire who got hit in the nuts 3 times and fell dead behind home plate was a better photo taken earlier this week.
We have breaking news while Schefter reported 30 minutes ago that the Rashee Rice suspension could be a potential 6 games. It is now being reported by many, including Diana Russini. Rashee Rice has accepted a 6-game suspension that will start week 1. He'll be eligible to return October 19th, week 7 against the Raiders.
Not invited to the Kelce
Well, you'd
wedding.
think he'd be back for the wedding. I doubt that it'll be that quick a turnaround.
Juju, did you have any opinions on how it is that we broke down poorly the Kelce and Taylor Swift marriage? I think I've got the order of those names wrong.
Right. I think that everybody on the Chiefs is probably invited.
No way.
But
Same way GQ did it here. He just said, hey, anyone want to go? Just send me an email. I'll send you an invite.
Right. He maybe have to, but because of the popularity of the wedding, it may have to get shrunk down. So I'm more so thinking like you guys after hearing your argument. But I was thinking everybody's invited. But yeah, that's going to be an exclusive and expensive ticket. I think they should just do it Queen Elizabeth style, like just drive through Manhattan, man, and just end up where the Liberty made the parade last year and just get married in front of the masses. Invite everyone.
This is definitely one of those secret location weddings, right? Where you don't find out where the actual wedding is until they
I just don't know how you do any of this. You can't invite all the Chiefs and +1. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Damn.
It can't be all the Chiefs. Wait,
Why?
and +1s? Because then all of a sudden you've got a bunch of people at your wedding you don't know.
I mean,
I'm telling you, every teammate is not being invited.
No chance.
100%.
I'm going max 10 teammates.
No, I think it could be in the 20s, but it's going to be people he considers friends.
Juju, what did you think about the argument about the ring? I could not believe that they were shaming Travis Kelce for the ring that he bought as if we're all diamond experts around here.
Right. I'm pretty sure that thing cost a pretty penny, whether it was the band made out of vibranium, something that's more than meets the eye than we could see. So I'm pretty sure it cost more than 2 months of his pay salary.
You mentioned Kawhi earlier in your top 10 list. Kawhi and Anthony Edwards are in China. There has been, every year this trip produces some good stuff.
Right. Kawhi is one of the funniest people in the entire world to me without trying at all. Somebody interviewed him about what does he say during the games. He was like, wet ball. When I know the shot going in, I like to say wet ball. And he's saying this to the little Chinese lady reporter, bro. It's just like so hilarious. Ant-Man, as soon as he touched down in China, he said, "Ni hao, what's happening?" in Atlanta style, like masterpiece beauty. Then he took a picture with Yao Ming and was like, "Salute to the legend. I would have dunked on Yao." But salute to the legend. I just think we should just follow them brothers around China more than once a year because it's been nothing but great content coming from out of them boys.
We're going to update the polls here in a second, but I want to remind people to find all of the stuff that Juju is doing for us. Alley Oop does an exceptional job of covering an assortment of things basketball related and not. Juju, tell people where it is to find you before we get to these polls, please.
Yes, sir. It's on the YouTube. Go to DLS Hoops. That's at DLS Hoops. Please help a brother out. We got some episodes coming out with great people. The Commissioner, Sarah Spain. We got a lot of other people that's from the universe that you would love. You feel me? So please give us some love over there. Podcast side of things, it's out in the Le Batard and Friends podcast network. So pretty much the one you're listening to right now, you can catch the pod version. But yeah, man, Alley Oop going crazy right now. WNBA, a lot of stuff. People remember earlier during the season, Dan, he was like, Asia Wilson got a wrist injury, and you asked me, does this spell trouble? And I was like, bro, they're going to be all right. And they are more than all right. They done won 11 games in a row. Now fighting for the second place tonight here in Atlanta. You know your boy will be there. But yeah, man, DLS Hoops, lock in with us.
Where does this rank in terms of biggest games that the Atlanta Dream have played, in terms of how it is that you feel about your franchise and your history with this franchise?
Right. Last game they won, they broke their single season record for wins. So we are in unprecedented territory right now. If we can hold out the Aces tonight and try to almost lock in that number 2 seed, this will be the most confident version of myself entering the WNBA playoffs, thinking that we have a chance.
Let's update the polls here at Le Batard Show, please. What do we have today?
Yes, sir. Is the Eastern time zone the Lord's time zone? 59% of the audience says, yes, it is.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Did Travis Kelce go cheap on the ring?
Unbelievable question. Like, unbelievable. I can't believe how many people are comfortable doing this.
Right. 54% of the audience says, yes, he did. Yeah. What is wrong with y'all?
I can see that.
Right. Are you in on any movie that has a guy and a dog? 67% of the audience says, yes, they are. And last poll, is the Navy easier than Georgia Tech? My brothers, my sisters, this has never happened before in the history of the show.
No.
50% of the audience says yes, and 50% of the audience says no.
Wow.
And those are your polls.
Not possible. Not possible. Did not happen. Don't believe you. Liar. Like Amin El Hassan. Lying.